The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey.
What?
Let's go!
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for.
Ah!
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers.
You pig! Stop! Damn it!
Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life.
We want out! We want out! Sport!
Hello, beautiful people. And welcome to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this Feel-Good Friday, May 3rd, 2024. This sports program starts now.
Sports!
A couple sports had some big moments happen just last night in the NHL. The Boston Bruins have officially given up a 3-1 series lead against the Toronto Maple Leafs. That means we have a Game 7 happening tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern. As that guy on the right, Willie Nylander, Willie Niles, he missed the first couple games of the series. Everybody was saying, where's Willie? Where's Willie? Where's Willie? Well, last night he showed up, scored 2 goals, and beat Brad Marchand and the Boston Bruins with Swayman in between the pipes, and now we have a Game 7. So for the first time ever, potentially in the NHL, we could have a number 1 seed give up a 3-1 lead in the playoffs back-to-back years, and it would be the Boston Bruins. Now, that's not the only thing that happened, obviously.
Yeah.
That is big news on a beautiful May 2nd evening last night. The NBA had 2 series get decided. Congratulations to the New York Knicks.
Congrats, Knicks.
Nice. Way to go, New York Knicks. New York Knicks beat the 76ers, and they will advance in the playoffs to take on the other team that closed out their series at home last night. Ladies and gentlemen, for the first time in 10 years, the Indiana Pacers have won a playoff series.
All right. Yeah.
Tyrese Halliburton, Obi Toppin, Pascal Siakam, and the entire crew beat the Milwaukee Bucks with Dame Dalla playing alongside a few other. Now, obviously, Tyrese Halliburton has taken this city like a fish does to water. Sure. We all love this man. Miles Turner's been here a long time. I'm happy he's gotten a chance to reap the benefit of this particular squad. TJ McConnell over there, bottom right corner, Yinzer, Pittsburgher. People were saying that he was a liability on the court. Well, last night in the playoff series clinching win, he won for 20 and some.
No big
Won for 20
deal.
and some. TJ McConnell starting to cook. Ooh, how do you feel? Great. TJ McConnell's balling, and the Pacers win a playoff series for the first time since 2014. Now, that should be the story.
Should be.
Should.
Indiana, place that loves basketball. Pacers, a historic brand in the NBA. The Pacers, with so much history of greatness, have finally had success in the playoffs and will move on to the next round. But instead, the story is that Pat Beverley's an asshole.
Yeah.
Okay? Patrick Beverley obviously been in the NBA for like 15 years. He is a man who I think a lot of people know because of his personality, his antics, and his lockdown defense. Well, he's old enough to know that what he did at the end of the game on the court was something you can never do as a professional athlete. He takes the ball, look at him, he's on the far right side there. Boom, goes to throw it at somebody, instead hits a woman in the head. A unsuspecting woman. Then the guy throws the ball back and he says, well, you thought I missed you the first time. Boom! Throws it back at a member of the Indiana Pacers crowd. There's the first one.
Jeez.
Misses the guy with the long yellow sleeves underneath the hoodie and hits woman in head, Patrick Beverley, okay? So then the guy's like, well, geez, what are we even doing? He throws the wall, he popped back. Hey, I think something slipped out of your hand. He just gave a concussion to a woman here. Now, she's from Indiana. She's a Pacers fan. She's tough.
Sure.
Of course.
She laughed it off immediately after getting hit in the head with a basketball whenever she's not even paying attention. Pacers just sealed first playoff series win in 10 years. She go, what the hell? There's no way somebody threw a ball at my head. Yeah, actually, a guy on the bench who had 6 points tonight is the guy that actually threw that at your head. 6 points, can't hit shit, misses the human he's trying to hit in the crowd, hits somebody else, gets the ball back. He goes, that was for you. Sends another one out there. So obviously this is something where you look at, oh, guy just threw a temper tantrum, hissy fit. What a bum. You'd start saying, he's throwing balls at the crowd. Okay, and I think Patrick Beverley would defend himself and say it's unfair. They've been saying stuff all night and yada, yada, yada. Well, you're getting paid to be there. They're paying to be there. And in the NBA, the crowd is on top of you. So I think the exchanges do get escalated quickly, especially if you're somebody who's super emotional, like we've seen Patrick Beverley to be in the past. We've seen him cry after winning a play-in game and excitement and clinch a 7th seed for the playoffs. And Patrick Beverley wears his heart right here. So throwing to the ball thing, they're saying he's going to be suspended. Of course, everybody understands that. Then there was a moment in the locker room afterwards, and this is the one that really pissed off the journalists.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, this is the one that really, really, really pissed off the journalists.
Yeah.
Here's Patrick Beverley at his locker room after scoring 6 points in a game in which they lose the playoff series, asking a question to a legendary ESPN producer about his podcast.
Here. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Before I finish. You subscribe to my pod?
Do I subscribe to you? I do not subscribe.
So you can't interview me then. No disrespect.
Well, Jamal is here.
You subscribe? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Again, there were a couple times within a bucket or two. In previous games, y'all have been able to.
Okay, so interesting video there because he turns to Melinda Adams. Melinda spelled with 2 A's. Okay, Malinda, and then Adams 2 A's as well. She is beloved, from what I've learned, around X and Twitter all morning by everybody that's basically ever gone through ESPN has talked about how professional she is. But if you look at this video, though, and once again, understandable that everybody's going to go to bat for Melinda Adams. But when I watched the video, I saw something right across his forehead, literally right across his forehead. It says, subscribe to the pod. Okay? Belt to ass, subscribe to the pod. His question to Melinda Adams was, do you subscribe to the pod? She says no. And he goes, well, you can't ask me any questions then. Then I see subscribe to the pod across his forehead. I'm like, oh, this must be his thing. Well, then we did some research. Here's from a bunch of other interviews that he has done throughout the year.
Y'all subscribe to my podcast? By y'all asking all these questions? Of course. Everybody?
We can't miss that. You have a podcast?
Okay, yeah, I'm cool then. Thank you guys so much. Y'all have a good day. Don't forget to subscribe to the pod. And if you're a kid, listen to your parents. Listen to your parents.
Listen to your parents.
Subscribe to the pod.
Subscribe.
Subscribe to the pod. Subscribe to the pod. Subscribe to the pod, man.
Good, those are good teammates right there.
So obviously this is his thing. Now, it comes immediately after he throws a ball at a woman's head, and then he says to a lady who is very well respected amongst her peers, have you subscribed to the pod? No, okay, don't ask me any questions. It's his gimmick, I do believe. So I think once people realize that that is kind of his thing, I think they'll have a little softer stance on him saying that to her. But nonetheless, the story of the night is that Patrick Beverley's an asshole, not that the Indiana Pacers have won a playoff series for the first time in 10 years, and I personally don't love that. I'm not subscribed to the pod, so I will not ask him any questions. I do see the clips. Roan has one of the biggest brains that I've ever encountered in my entire life, so I'm sure it is fantastic, but that seems to be his gimmick. So that one, that's his gimmick. I see the world as wrestling, as WWE. I don't think he did it directly because it's Melinda Adams. He clearly does it
to everybody.
Everybody. But after throwing a ball at somebody's head, then doing that, boy, you can really piece that together to be this guy's an asshole, which is what they're certainly doing. But that shouldn't be the topic of conversation, Talks the Table. At Boston Connor, at Ty Schmidt, see the dog on your chest. And obviously Patrick Beverley, I assume, would describe himself as a dog. Last night looked like an asshole.
Yeah, it was stupid. And like Pat Beverley, I feel like throughout his career has always been kind of a heel. So like publicly people haven't, loved him. And then last night, after the Pacers win, what does Tyrese Halliburton do? He actually quotes teammate of Pat Bev now, Damian Lillard, on a tweet that Damian Lillard had when he was with the Trailblazers, basically talking shit on Pat Bev. So it's not as if Pat Bev is loved, globally, but it does feel like doing something like this, even kind of putting the spotlight on it more, doesn't help. And then if you are someone like myself who hasn't watched a lot of Bucks basketball this year, especially the post-game, press conferences with Pat Bev, and you just see him do that, subscribe to the pod thing without knowing he's been doing it all year.
It's his
like,
gimmick.
Yeah, this guy's kind of an asshole. But then you learn it's his gimmick. It's like, okay, so that part isn't as much of a big deal. Gunning a ball at a lady now. Look,
That you can't do it.
I don't know how often that's happened at a basketball game. You mentioned it before. Kind of surprising that this didn't turn into
a fight.
Yeah,
especially with the guy who's wearing a jersey, no undershirt.
Yeah, he thought about it.
Yeah, he was like, wait a minute, are we fighting right now?
Yeah.
This is a whole thing.
Shocker
and then he gets
there.
the ball back and he throws it back in there. He's been in the league for like 15 years.
Long
like,
time.
Yeah, that's dumb.
Yeah.
That is very dumb. But last night, the story is that Patrick Beverley ruined what was supposed to be a beautiful evening in Indiana. The lady got hit in the head, bonked in the head.
Mm-hmm.
She had a fun time last night.
Oh, yeah.
Probably.
She's A-okay. Now, this morning, we don't know if she has a broken neck, maybe a spinal cord, sternum. I think she even broke her fibula and her knee in this entire incident, but that's for doctors to talk about, not us. But basketball got a little testy, and now the Knicks will take on the Pacers, which is a beautiful thing. One half of the Hammer, Dahn, Cowboys, Tone Diggs. NBA Gomblin been hot or no?
Yeah, it has, because a lot of the favorites in the first round have moved on, will move on. It was early on, it was all the home teams or whatever that evened out a little bit, not to the extent that the NHL playoffs has, but a little bit. But no, NBA betting's been absolutely great. Now another night of where the Pacers blew it out, and then the Knicks and Sixers series has been as close as it could possibly get the entire series. I thought that one was going to go 7. The Knicks did it last night, and because Brunson's been absolutely dominant. If you've been taking Brunson's overs, you've been cashing in pretty much every night. I think it's 3 or 4 straight games.
4.
With 35 plus. Brunson has been an absolute cash cow for the gamblers.
Okay, so Brunson wasn't among the top 50 highest paid players in the NBA this season, and obviously he is just taking over the playoffs for the Knicks. Congrats to them. Congrats to basketball. We got some storylines developing.
Hell yeah.
Joining us now, ladies and gentlemen, is a human who's right in the middle of the story that I love the most in the NHL playoffs, and that's that the Boston Bruins, for the first time ever, might give up 3-1 series leads in back-to-back playoffs.
Yep.
The Boston Bruins have been taking on Toronto Maple Leafs, an old-school rivalry that we thought was done quick. Sure. Brad Marchand actually said in the middle of one of the games, this thing's done in 5. Well, guess what? It's going to 7. Can't wait to hear this man's thoughts. Host of Spittin' Chicklets and also analyst on TNT. Ladies and gentlemen, Biz Nasty, Paul Bizanet.
Yeah, Biz.
How you
What's
doing?
up to the whole crew? Boston Connor, how we doing, baby?
I'm feeling
Let's get a vibe check on Boston Connor.
Vibes are good, Biz. Don't you worry about it, pal. Okay, we're feeling just fine.
That's
over
not
here.
true. He was screaming,
The tone has changed.
Yeah.
The tone has changed a bit.
All
hasn't
right,
it?
you want to be honest? This sucks. Hockey sucks. This is why sports suck. I don't want to be doing this. This should have been over a long time ago. It's absolute horse crud that this stupid series is still going on. So, yeah, that's where the vibes are at. But that doesn't mean they're bad vibes. They're still good vibes. They're pissed off vibes, but doesn't mean they're bad vibes.
Okay, yeah, some people can be
I
pissed off.
appreciate your honesty.
Shut up.
Some people can be positive pissed off, but I don't think that's how Connor operates at all. Literally, right before we go live, I go, okay, we got to cover the Pat Beverley being an asshole thing, and then we're getting right into Biz, and he screams, I hate hockey, literally as the countdown's going on there, because this looked like it was all said and done.
Yeah.
Seemingly all said and done. 3-1, here we go, the boys are rolling. Marchand is even saying this thing's done in 5. You kept going. Go ahead.
Hey, so I got to correct you there. So he was going by the bench, and it sounded like like when you looked at his lips, it looked like he melded that. He was saying that there was 35 left on the clock. Like that game wasn't over.
Okay.
Let's dial it in. So Sportsnet actually sent that tweet out, and then it popped off, obviously. And then I think people corrected them. So by the time that they took it down, the damage had been done. I ran with the story because I was loving it. You're trying to use it as bulletin board material, but he was just trying to keep his guys aware on the bench.
Okay.
Yo, we're not out of the woods yet. We got 35 left on the clock. Crazier things have happened as we've seen this playoffs because Carolina Hurricanes got 2 goals in 9 seconds and then beat their own record in 8 seconds. That happened in the first round. So you got to be careful in hockey.
Okay, so that wasn't that's a nice little piece of journalism right there, Biz. Nobody's going to give you credit for it. That was good journalism what you just did right there. You seemingly had a belief though in when this whole thing started, when you and Connor were yelling at each other. You said this team's built different, we're bigger, we're stronger. Has that been the case, and why they've been able to bring this back to a 3-3 series, or what do you think this is because of?
Well, they're just not one-dimensional anymore, where they can play that defensive game, and it seems like over the past few, they've really shut things down. keep in mind, like, they haven't played a full game yet with the core four, which is John Tavares, Mitch Marner, William Nylander, and Austin Matthews. That's Nylander right there. He missed the first 3 games, and he hadn't done anything. He didn't have a point in the series.
Lucky goal.
He hadn't scored in his last 13 games. Not crazy about the goal either, Boston Connor. If I'm a Boston fan, McAvoy's either got to get the screen or the block or get out of the way. But nonetheless, he came up big. But the fact that they were able to adjust their game, play a defensive style, and play that 2-1 type of mindset in back-to-back games, it's a testament to the deadline deals that Brad Treliving made and the rest of the guys in the lineup that, like I said, they're used to playing that run and gun. They tightened the ship up, and they squeaked a few out. It wasn't pretty, but they got it done.
Okay, do you think that this Game 7 is, like, can Boston stop the momentum? What is the hockey momentum like? Because obviously down 3-1, 2-3-3, you think to yourself, well, it seems like the Maple Leafs are the wagon here. Mm-hmm. Can Boston, obviously, with how much power they have, stop this? Or is this seemingly a Toronto series all of a sudden?
I don't know, man. Watching the post-game press conference with Jim Montgomery, they just seem a little bit rattled.
Oh, no.
Connor, did he not look fidgety with his hands?
He didn't look happy, Biz. He didn't look happy. He looked pissed off, and yes, it did seem as though he was on edge.
I don't understand why they made lineup changes also in Game 5, where they took out Shattenkirk and Beecher.
Oh, no.
And sometimes that throws off the feng shui. And then obviously they went back to those guys in Game 6 where but the other thing too is the egg they laid in Game 5, Montgomery and the team, they wanted to be pissed off. They wanted to act pissed off as opposed to just letting it go. So it's almost like they took that disappointment from Game 5 into Game 6. You can listen to the post-game press conferences after Game 5. You could see them walking in the tunnel. And just like in Game 5 and Game 6, I think they only had a few shots in the first period. They came out completely flat. They did so at home and then on the road in Toronto where the pressure's off. You don't have your own home crowd. So you go on the road, it's a little bit easier, right? You got the hotel, you're away from your wife and kids. You could focus on the task at hand, right? Not to say that those are a distraction.
No.
It's just you ask any married guys when you go on the road, it's nice. You get to the hotel, you shut the brain off, and you worry about the hockey at hand. So I don't know what's happening with them. They've lost their offense. Another thing, too, is Max Domi, who's had to fill in for Austin Matthews, who he has played center in the past. In Game 5, he went 85% in the faceoff circle against two guys who've been taking draws all year, Boston Connor. What's going on with Zaka and Coyle at the first and second line?
You guys are dead. We're panicking. We're changing lines. We're doing this. We can't score anymore. We got wingers beating us at faceoffs this entire. What the fuck? You guys are dead.
Look, first of all, everyone knows the hardest thing to do in hockey is go up against a guy that never does faceoff. Everyone knows that in the league. If you're Coyle, if you're any of those guys,
his timing,
it's a nightmare because hey, there's no teach tape on this guy, and everyone knows the Bruins are in the lab at all times when it comes to tape. Biz, first of all, I just want to let you know that there's a contingency of people that believe your co-host Whit has cursed the Bruins because of his bare sex photo. Now, I don't know if that's true. I don't know if that's true. I don't know if that's true.
We didn't see any
That's your guy, Biz. That's your guy, and allegedly that might have turned the tide when it comes to the hockey gods, if you will. So maybe pass that on. What the hell, brother? Didn't need to do that. But
those Bears are
I'm not going to comment. I'm not going to comment on that. I took a little bit of a family-friendlier approach.
Yep, we saw that.
A little bit lighter AI bear, just ferociousness.
Yeah.
No other tomfoolery. So I'm just going to stick to our game plan and not focus on any outside noise.
Smart. Smart.
So
those weren't
like
real bears,
take
though.
that approach.
We do know those were not real, right?
I still cannot confirm if those are real or fake bears.
Okay.
I believe they were AI generated, but it's hard to tell nowadays, right? The advancement in technology
it's too much.
The skates looked really real.
Yeah, it's too much. So did the tears. But Biz, when it comes to the Bruins, if we're just talking goalies here, obviously Swayman, I feel like anybody watching isn't thinking, hey, Swayman's the problem. Guy's been standing on his head and the Bruins have just let him down. But because of these lineup changes that you just mentioned, do you think there's any shot that they do even consider putting Ullmark in because of the fact that they've lost a couple straight, obviously, but also do you think he thinks about last year how they put Swayman in after Ullmark played, those first 6 games and kind of coming off cold and that didn't work out well?
It would be a classic overthink, and I do believe there is a small possibility they go to Allmark. I think if they do so, they're crazy because Swayman has been tremendous. His numbers against the Leaf are tremendous. He's impossible to beat downstairs. So as long as you get the box outs and the net front coverage, and then like the block, like I mentioned, where McAvoy probably should have blocked that and or got it away, you got to go back to Swayman. But Montgomery's a bit unpredictable with this stuff, so who knows? So it's going to be a nail biter all the way up to the puck drop, and I don't know what his lineup decisions will be. But the good news with the Leafs is it looks potentially like Matthews would be ready to go, where they can get their dog back. Listen, to fill Max Domi in at the center ice position for a few games when you're not used to it going against other teams' top lines, he's done an incredible job. It just sometimes get a little bit difficult from a sustainability aspect. Like he just said, you start watching tape, you start seeing his tendencies, you start maybe getting his timing off on the faceoffs. But either way, man, it's going to be an epic Game 7. And even Oz the Mentalist predicted that the Leafs were going to win this series in comeback fashion. He predicted a shutout in Game 6, but
didn't happen.
Right, scored late. Well, with half a second left.
0.01. Pretty good gut instincts, if you ask me. And he's got everything right about this series up until now, bang on. So let's hope we can pull through.
Hey,
hey,
do you know about this guy, Oz?
Yeah, I heard he predicted the first 13 picks of the NFL draft.
Yeah, that was on our show. But yeah, it was insane. He was right in front of us doing this shit. He walked up to me just off camera and was like, "Pick a number 0 to 100 in your head." And I just picked the number, and he writes it down. He goes, "Nah, you're thinking something bigger than that." And I didn't even budge. And he goes, 98. I'm like, "Yeah, how?" He went through Darius Butler's phone. He went through Darius Butler's phone. D-Butt was looking at his phone like this, and he said, "Stop. The name you're looking at right now," and he's over there. He goes, "Name you're looking at right now has G in it," and D-Butt goes, "No," and we're like, "We got him." And he goes, "Oh, no, sorry. Look up 4 names." And he moved up 4 names, and it was Boogie was the name. Right, and it was like, this guy, he's a demon.
What's his, how does it happen? Like, what's his, what do you even call him?
The Satanist.
He calls himself the Mentalist. O's the Mentalist, but I think there's a chance he's a time traveler, like a 5-minute time traveler, where he like goes through all these things, where he's like, go through your phone. All right, what name are you looking at? And he's like, the name's Jack. Well, what are the names in there? Well, there's a Boogie up here, then this whole thing, and he's like, okay, and it's awkward, and we all celebrate in his face, and then he goes back in time, and then he does it again. There's a chance he does that. I don't know how he does what he does. It freaked me out, Biz. It freaked me out, every part of it.
Kind of like David Blaine stuff. Like, could he do the card stuff and all that?
Yeah, he did a card stuff. David Blaine, though, remember, he used to like freeze himself and
put like wires through his cheeks.
And he went up into the sky riding those,
on the balloon.
I don't think he can Chris Angel levitate Shaq over a Haas.
I don't think he can mind freak take somebody's legs off, but like he can predict.
Chris Angel's the wild card.
Yeah,
he's the wild card.
Goat.
Yeah, he'll change some perspectives real quick. That mind freak show is crazy. But yeah, Oz is. It's absurd. He predicted a game next year. Packers-Niners is going to be 34-27. One of those numbers is off, though. He said, so whenever it comes around next year, go ahead and do it. I don't know how any of it works, Biz. Did he say you guys are going to win the whole series, or did he say Bruins?
He said the Leafs were going to win the series in comeback fashion. And I actually predicted before the series that it was going to go Game 7, and that Toronto was going to light Boston up in their own building in Game
Biz
7.
the Mentalist.
Wow. Whoa.
And there you go. And you'd be able to hear a pin drop. It'll be quieter in there than it was against St. Louis when they won the Stanley Cup Game 7.
No chance.
All right.
That was the most devastating loss. That was the most devastating loss in Bruins history. It won't be quieter. And I'm not going to say that they're definitely going to win because there's no guarantees in this business, as you know, but the Bruins are going to come through. I mean, this is the Garden Game 7. What was the last time the Maple Leafs played the Bruins in the Garden Game 7, Biz? What happened then?
I think it was 2013.
I think it was 2018, perhaps.
Or was it 2018?
Or was it? Yeah. What happened?
Or both.
What happened then?
Or maybe it was 18.
Maybe it was. What happened?
I got a bad memory. I got CTE, guys.
Oh, is that right? Well, it was 4-1. It was 4-1 Leafs with like 11 minutes left. And then you
well, like most Boston fans do, they live in the pack.
Right?
Am I going to get the Patty Maroon sneak attack today?
No,
perhaps.
We're not going into a locker room that just lost.
Might be in the studio.
Not
Look
going
out.
to a change room. We're not doing that. Hey, great shot on Shaq, too. We've been enjoying it. You've been crushing it. Hey, 10 public push-ups here still on the line?
Yes, it is.
I mean, we can make
you
it
want to
20.
up the ante maybe a little bit?
Let's make it 20. Yeah. Let's make it 20.
No, I was going to say maybe through some crunches, balance things out.
No, I don't do those.
Core.
I don't do those. No.
You don't do crunches?
No. What's the point?
Let's do 20 push-ups. Let's up the ante.
Boom. Double or nothing, bitch.
Hey, one last question for you. What's wrong with Pasta?
Uh-oh.
I don't know, because he's playing his ass off, but on offense he's losing the puck. He's not shooting like Pasta, but he is. I'll tell you what, he had a hell of a back check last night. He was skating.
That's what we've came to.
And hey,
that's
we're
what
looking
we've
for
reported
effort.
to, a good back check.
Hey, and it is a good back check. I mean, you can't deny that, Biz. He is skating his ass off
Stick
out
lift was
there,
a pack
carving ice.
All right. I got nothing for you. I got nothing else for you.
Because his effort is lights out. I mean, you can't.
What about what's going on with Austin? Why did Willie miss those first 3 games?
So people are saying it's potentially MCL for Austin Matthews on a McAvoy hit when he hit him and then they fell back together and it looked like his leg got caught.
Yeah.
And the way it opened up, like I've messed my MCLs up a few times, like between a 1st degree and a 3rd degree all the way. So hopefully he skated for 30 minutes though and he looked pretty good. So hopefully it's a minor MCL sprain if that's the case. Other people are saying that he had an illness and maybe even food poisoning, and he got that game that he played, he got rocked, where maybe he's dealing with concussion-like symptoms. So there's a lot of rumor mill things flying around. There's nothing official. This is the hit that they're saying maybe he tweaked his knee. See there on his right leg where the MCL would have opened up.
Good hit.
That's a hip drop.
Yeah,
Good hit.
Hey, it's a battle. That's how that happens in the playoffs. And I mean, as a Leafs fan, I'm not going to complain. If it is an MCL, the power play for Toronto's been rubbish. They're at, I think, 5% for the series. They've only scored 1 power play goal, and I think they've had 20 chances now. So 5%, good math by me, the mentalist back. If I'm Toronto,
Biz the mathematist,
yeah. If I'm Toronto, I would potentially take out a 4th liner if you could put him in just to amplify power play and maybe play limited minutes. And I say this based on the game, the practice tape I saw from the other day where he skated for 30 minutes and he was doing drills that I can't even do if I had my good knees. So I don't understand why he's still in the lineup, but the soap opera, which is the Toronto Maple Leafs, continues. It's nonstop drama. They had Marner not playing well. They had no Nylander, no Matthews. They need the core 4 to assemble like the Avengers in Game 7 and dummy Boston Connor and all the rest of those jock sniffers at the Garden.
Down it. 4 Canadian horsemen taking their talent to Boston for a Game 7 tomorrow. Yeah, there it is.
See what happens.
Ladies and gentlemen, Paul Biznet. Thank you, Biz. Biz has been crushing it, obviously, this entire playoff series, this entire hockey season, and you're a much different person. He said your tone has changed. That is accurate. You were a much different person earlier than you are now.
Well, situations are situational. Yeah, sure. It was 3-1, and it was fun to fly high and talk shit because I thought Brad Marchand said it was done in 5, and turns out he said, 35 seconds left. If I knew that, then I would have had a different mindset. Hey, this is a 7-game series. But unfortunately, I was bamboozled on the internet by a false report. And, of course, it's from a Canadian.
Sportsnet.
Yeah.
Gumpy, what's that all about?
What is that about?
What's that all about?
What's Sportsnet doing?
Sportsnet is just trying to screw over the Boston Bruins. And that's just a classic Canada, hey, we don't want to do anything good or anything nice or anything that actually helps the world.
The rest of Canada hates the Maple Leafs, by the way. Nobody likes the Maple Leafs in Canada.
Who do you guys like? You guys like Montreal?
That's wherever you are. Like, if you're from where I'm from, you cheer for the Cougars. But Cougars fans hate the Maple Leafs.
Okay.
Everyone hates the Maple Leafs.
So it's not like the entire country of Canada is operating in a fashion to get Toronto over Boston.
Nobody wants Toronto to win in Canada, but people from Toronto.
Sportsnet, maybe.
Well, everybody out here.
That's where Sportsnet is.
So is everybody out here talking seemingly from Toronto?
Feels like it.
Yeah, it
Same
does.
people that were mad
city.
about that picture. Remember I told you about that place when we went there?
Yep.
He did.
They were pissed about
Yeah.
that photo. They were pissed about
Nice
that
place, though.
Pivoting away from the NHL, which is having a electrifying playoffs, tomorrow night, 8 p.m., Toronto-Boston will be must-watch.
Yes.
I mean, this will be must-watch. Man on the right, Nylander taking on Marchand on the left there, obviously. The captain of the Boston Bruins, who was misquoted by Sportsnet up there in Canada.
Bullshit.
Kind of throw him into a blender there. Joining us now is a general manager in the NFL, a man that I've known since probably his young 20s when he was with the Indianapolis Colts. The guy was the youngest GM in the NFL whenever he was hired. I was thinking he needed to be a GM a couple years before that. Big brain, great throwing arm, building a team in Cleveland that the city on the lake can hopefully one day have a Lombardi Trophy parade. Ladies and gentlemen, Andrew Berry.
Hey, Pat, how you doing, man?
Hey, I'm great. Okay, so how old were you whenever we were all pushing for you to be the Colts GM? You were like 28 or something like that, 27? How old were you whenever that was happening?
I was, when I left Indianapolis, I left at 28 years old. It's been a long time since I was 22 when you were a rookie and we were in Terre Haute, Indiana for training camp, right, Pat?
A long time, man. And I think literally since seeing you the first time, watching the way you operate as a whatever assistant to an assistant you were at the time, you're trying to work your way up. Because college quarterback where?
I was a corner at Harvard, high school quarterback, Pat.
High school quarterback, corner at Harvard.
Okay.
Dumb.
Yeah.
Guys, very dumb. And then as you, I think you were the first person I met from Harvard. I think you were the first human that I interacted with from Harvard. That was a pretty cool little moment for me. Oh, he's a smart guy. And then you watch you like work, and the way you handled things behind the scenes and the way you talked to people and the way you listened. And it was like you were a weapon. Everybody knew you were going to have success and become a general manager. Obviously, that was the path you were taking. So everybody in Indy is incredibly happy for you, Andrew.
Yeah.
Incredibly happy for you.
That's kind of you to say, Pat. But I want to say I'm real proud of you because, like, it's interesting to me that you're at a point in your life where there are people that don't know how special of a punter you were, who could have also been like an all-pro kicker. But then I also think about when you were performing at the Palladium in Carmel, Indiana, as you were thinking about transitioning into this entertainment career, everybody knew how talented you are. So I'm really happy to see all the success that you've had, man. It's well-deserved. People don't know how hard you've worked for it. And it's been pretty cool to watch.
Thank you, Andrew. You're a general manager in the NFL, so let's stop this, okay? Some of us have accomplished being a clown. Some people have accomplished being in charge of one of the 32 teams in the biggest league on earth, but I appreciate the hell out of you. Let's talk about your general managerness. Now, hey, this offseason, big one. We bring in Jerry Jeudy. Okay, that's a massive trade. Want another weapon for the offense? Is that the thought there? And when you're doing these types of things, are you going with a full team view? Is it player by player basis? How do you go about making your decisions, Andrew?
It's a little combination of both. I think as we looked into the offseason, call it 65% plus of the game is played in 11 personnel with 3 receivers. And, obviously our passing game, last year went through Amari Cooper and David Njoku, and we had traded for Elijah Moore, drafted Ted Tillman. But when Jerry was available, we felt like we could add a player that was a top-notch separator in this league, had a diverse number of ways that he could produce, whether it's from the outside, the inside, vertically. And he really kind of fit the profile and skill set that we really wanted in our offense. So we looked at that as a great opportunity for us, and we were aggressive with trying to bring him in.
Yeah, and you land him, and a lot of people immediately go back to all the drama that potentially surrounded Jerry Jeudy in Denver. Sometimes a new stop, new place is refreshing, especially with a city that wants it. And like last year, watching the Cleveland Browns fans, the dog pound, experience that magical run with Flacco at the helm, and then 5th string running back there, and then the injuries that you had everywhere. It's like, as you're experiencing last year, and your depth is being tested almost at every position, do you expect to go on the run that you go on? And when you feel that from the Cleveland dog pound, does that energize you? What is last year like for you, and what do you learn from it going forward?
Yeah, I'll be honest. Yeah, last year was really special, and it's honestly probably been, I'd say, it's one of my top 2 favorite seasons in my entire career, with the other one being 2012. Going through that season, really playing for Chuck, when he was diagnosed with cancer, seeing what the team did. And it was really cool because you're right, this is a really special city and a really special fan base. They bleed brown and orange. They've had the team taken away from them, and how they've embraced the Browns in Northeast Ohio really since they've been back, and through a lot of hard times, just to be truthful. It was awesome. It was just like an awesome fall, given how much adversity we faced. But also, our coaching staff deserves a ton of credit. We really took the mentality of okay, hey, we're met with this new challenge or new problem with the roster week in and week out. And we had a coaching staff that didn't blink. We had a locker room that didn't blink. And they deserve a lot of credit. So it was an incredibly fulfilling run. It ended, probably like all but one team, it ended a little bit too quickly. But, it was a fantastic year.
Okay, let's talk about that coaching staff that you just put over a little bit. Stefanski wins Coach of the Year again, I think. And where did he go to school?
He went to Penn. Okay. Yeah, we don't like that school as much, Pat.
Well, whatever. There's a lot of those types of schools that are certainly in conversation pieces right now, but nonetheless, it's getting loud. It's getting loud around the Ivy League. But like big brains over there. But seemingly, no offense to you, big brains. Okay, sometimes there's big brains that can't change a light. Or like do anything else, or don't have a personality because or not able to work with people because of how smart they are. Feels like you two, since day one, have kind of been on the same page. Is that an accurate reading from outside in? Why do you think Stefanski has been so successful thus far?
Yeah, it absolutely is, and it's probably more him than me because Kevin is incredibly down to earth, and he's very comfortable in his own skin. He's got a great sense of humor that probably not enough people see. He's incredibly easy to work with, but when I say easy to work with, that doesn't mean that he won't push or challenge, whether it's players, coaches, or myself, in the general manager position. He always speaks his mind, and ultimately he looks for and demands excellence. But he does that in a way where people know that he has their best interests at heart, and I think that's a big reason that our organization really follows him, and players would really run through a wall for him. It's no coincidence that he's won Coach of the Year, 2 out of his first 4 years, and he's still not even close to his ceiling.
That's awesome to hear because obviously there's a bunch of drama, quarterback decisions that are being made, and then you don't know what you're going to get, and then we see that annual meetings. We hear that story where Kevin Stefanski goes, "What's up, O?" So Odell Beckham Jr., and that was after Odell had already left and had that whole scene. So feels like he's been able to manage a locker room that's been through a lot in fantastic fashion. Tone's got a question for you. He's a diehard Steelers fan, obviously.
I am, but I respect the hell out of what you've actually done for that roster and that team. The city stinks, but you've done a great job. But you brought in Donta Foreman and Naeem Hines, who had 2 years ago had really, really good seasons. Great draft pick in Jerome Ford. So, the running back room is stacked. But at the top there, there was one guy at the top there with Nick Chubb, who had a unfortunate injury last season. Did you have to bring in all that other talent? Because is Nick going to be back? Is there an update on Nick? Because facing him is a very, very, very dangerous thing.
Yeah. So, Nick. First of all, nobody wants to bet against Batman, right? We call him Batman here, and Nick, he is a special player and a special human being. He is doing well on his road to recovery. He still has a long way to go because obviously it was a serious knee injury. But this past month, he actually started running on land. It's interesting when he got hurt. He didn't rehab away from he really kept his routine as if he was still preparing for a regular season game, and there really has been no off season with him. He's very determined to get back. He's making good progress. We're gonna take it kind of week by week, phase by phase. The next couple months will be really important as he starts to increase the load on his knee, but we are optimistic. We obviously expect him to play in 2024. I don't want to put any, firm timelines on it because there's.
No, go ahead, Andrew. Say it. Say it. Yeah. Come on. Give us a date.
But I tell you what, one of the moments we're most looking forward to is when Nick Chubb runs out of that tunnel, for his first home game in 2024. I think it'll be a real special moment for the organization and our fans.
Yeah, not only you guys, but for NFL fans as well. He's fun to watch. He was phenomenal. That's why when he gets hurt, we all think to ourselves, well, this season's over because you guys were riding him. You were riding him. And instead, you guys had to dodge, duck, dip, dive, and dodge your way through the rest of the year at a lot of different positions. It was phenomenal to watch. One of them was quarterback position. Let's talk. I haven't got a chance to chat with you, I don't think, about it since the $230 million guaranteed deal with Deshaun. Now, he had missed football. Obviously, everything that happens is another whole thing that could wear on you, especially with the decisions. And, that's on him. But I'm talking just strictly football here. He was away from the game for a long time. I wondered about rust. And, even as a punter, if I sat out of football for 2 years and I was just to go back, even in my position, I think my leg, my body would take a little bit to kind of adjust, get thrown back in there. Are we at the point now where you think, mentally, physically, football-wise, Deshaun has caught up to the time that he potentially missed? And what are your expectations for him? Are we still trying to get back to form, or you think this year is going to be the year after the injury where it's we're going to see Deshaun Watson with what he was in Houston?
No, we feel very good about the transition, Pat. He's in a really good spot. Mentally, physically. Obviously, he's been rehabbing the shoulder injury, but he's well on his way there and in a really, really strong spot. I think he's a lot more comfortable within the organization. We have a core group of guys on offense that have now played together for a number of years, and we do expect to hit the ground running, on that side of the ball. And I know he's very excited about returning to the playing field and getting over this injury. And we do have high expectations for him and the offense this season.
Did you know there was a chance though, after missing that much football, this might? For just reality of the situation?
Yeah, I think you even look at it with, players who are coming back from serious injuries. I don't think it's uncommon for there to be some transition or acclimation. That has to be in the realm of, the realm of possibility. But we still feel really good about Deshaun. We like the trajectory that we've seen. And we really do think that he's going to have a big year.
If he can get back fully to what he was. I mean, we saw it obviously with Houston and Indy being 2 times a year. And then there's that clip of JJ walking off the field to Deshaun saying, "I'm so sorry we wasted your year." I think, but reality of the situation, guys that have been around were like, hey, you're away from ball. Things move fast, That's why the whole, and I don't want to break, but Colin Kaepernick potentially coming back after 7 years away, I'm
long time.
If he could mentally do 7 years away from the highest level on earth, where people are spending every moment of their life in there, that would have been a phenomenal feat. I hope Deshaun gets back to full form for you guys, but also for the good of the NFL, because he was electric every time he touched the field when he was with Houston. We'll see if it happens in Cleveland. Now, on that note, Ty has a question for you.
Yeah, speaking of the quarterbacks just in general, Andrew, obviously you want Deshaun to play every game when you've paid him the kind of money that you have, but it seems like in years past, and it's kind of starting to change now, but teams who are paying their quarterback that much, your backup quarterback is kind of just if you lose your starter, you're screwed. You're not expecting the guy to come in and actually compete with the team you have. And then obviously last year you have the magical run with Flacco. You bring him in, you guys go to the playoffs. And then this offseason signed Jameis, and he's obviously started in the NFL, played a lot of meaningful football. So how, just kind of with all that in mind, how important is it to have a backup quarterback in the room where if something is to happen to Deshaun, you feel comfortable enough, hey, the guy we're putting in, there's not going to be that much of a drop-off. We're still going to compete, and we're still going to win football games despite how much we're paying our starting quarterback?
Yeah, that's something that I really took from my time with Howie Roseman in Philadelphia. And it's quite simply, quarterback's the most important position in sports. It has the biggest impact on the outcome of games in the NFL, and no different than you wouldn't stop adding to your talent base in the O-line room, the D-line room, pass catchers, corners. Why would you really do that at quarterback, especially knowing how much a quarterback injury or something along those lines can derail your season? So, I think back to Philly, right? Their only Super Bowl they won with their backup quarterback. And so for me, coming into the general manager seat, really since day one, when we had Baker, one of our first major free agent signings was Case Keenum to have a good backup. Obviously, when we traded for Deshaun, the first person we signed in free agency was Jacoby Brissett. We had Dobbs, and then drafted, a young kid, Dorian Thompson-Robinson last year, and then obviously transitioned to Flacco as we kept getting guys hurt.
Yeah.
And then, Jameis this year. So for us, we maybe take a little bit of a different approach than others. That's an area where, we are fine spending resources because we know how important the position is and how much it can impact your season.
Last year, there was some record-breaking amount of reps taken by backup quarterbacks, and we talked to Goodell the day after the first round of the draft. Sorry about that. I just had a nice burp there in mid-sentence. Not supposed to do that. I still haven't figured out the professionalism thing, Andrew. That's kind of been an issue since Terre Haute, whenever we were 2009. But he's talked about maybe having 18 games, 2 bye weeks.
Hell yeah.
And then 17 games here. We got a lot of quarterbacks, a lot of players, but a lot of quarterbacks injured. It's like going forward, I'll be excited to see how you guys kind of manage that. Like, are we going to get into a load management? Like, not load management, but like if a guy is 75%, maybe give a week to have another one. It's all everything's changing so quickly, it feels like. The game is as well. We talked to John Lynch yesterday, and I don't know if you've ever gotten a chance to chat with him. I assume all you GMs are in just one big group text. He talked about how, like, why he brought Debo in was because DB started getting too good at jamming wide receivers. So he had to start getting a little bit more physical. Debo brought that for them. And then he started thinking about how defenses started getting faster and smaller. Now there's a little bit more power football taking place. You guys love handing that rock off. You've been very committed to the run game. You bring in Zach Zinter with your 3rd-round draft pick, who everybody loved up in Michigan. You focused on that. Do you think that's a thing that is like one of the standards of your program? One of your culture setters is like, we're going to be a power football team no matter how the NFL gets everywhere else?
I actually think it's probably twofold, Pat. I think, number one, in the critical moments when you're trying to close out games, ideally you're trying to get out to a lead, relatively early in the game. And that honestly, that typically comes through passing. But usually when you close out games, you're trying to shorten the game at the end. That comes with really running the ball effectively in 4-minute situations or situations when the opponent knows that you're going to hand it off. I would say the Zinter pick or it's probably more philosophical in terms of the premium that we put on offensive linemen, in general, because we really do believe that the game is won at the line of scrimmage, offense and defensive line. And that's probably the most important subgroup outside of quarterback. I think especially if you look at where the interior rusher market has gone, right? You saw Christian Wilkins get, north of $27 million this past year. And
he's a Raider. I forgot about that.
Has exploded a lot because those guys can really impact the game. And I think you're seeing a similar impact, really in the guard market as well. The guys that can protect one-on-one against, those special athletes, on the inside. So for us, linemen will always acquire at a premium because we do think it's that important.
They love that Zach Zinter guy up there in Michigan. In a school and a team full of leaders, like that was the guy that they all kind of pointed to, especially after the injury. Good for you guys getting seemingly a stud in the 3rd round. Those middle rounds and the late rounds, a lot of names that we knew this year. It felt like that, right?
No, it did. It absolutely did. I thought this year's class was really good in that regard.
Deep. Is that a deep class or how would you describe this particular class of the draft?
I actually think it was very strong at the top and probably stronger than normal through day 2 and through early day 3. I think maybe where you really felt it line up was, in call it the 5th, 6th, 7th round where it was much later. But I think call it the top 150 was as strong as perhaps it's been in a while.
A lot of known names, man. I was watching, my phone had the updates for like 2nd night and 3rd night, and it was like, whoa, I didn't know that guy was even still available. That guy's still available. That guy was a 4th rounder? Wait a minute, I didn't expect that. Good for the league, good for football. Connor's got a question for you.
Yeah, Andrew, on your point about, the defensive line, you guys have the defensive player of the year in Myles Garrett. How awesome is it to have a cornerstone DN kind of right off the jump for you, and also being able to partner him with Denzel Ward? And then as a GM, and probably has nothing to do, or maybe it does, how do you view a team when, your defense was so good at home and then there was such a drastic change when they went on the road? Is that anything that you even consider or look into as far as how to, make that better? Or is that just a situational thing in the teams they were playing while they were on the road were just much better?
Yeah, do we need to change the indoor practice facility for away games? What the hell's going on over there, Andrew? Yeah, a little noise.
Those are two great questions. So the first, having cornerstone players in their prime at premium positions, it's an incredible advantage, an incredible luxury, in our sport. So, having Miles and Denzel and guys like that, they really are difference makers. They're difference makers in the outcome of games, and they give you a lot of flexibility schematically on the defensive side of the ball. To the question about the home road splits, with our defense, it's something that we always look at, throughout our, call it, postseason autopsy, if you will. And every year there are certain trends. Like I think in coming out of the 22 season, one of the things that we looked at, I think we were weaker in maybe second and third quarter scoring. We were really good in the openers. We were really good late, but we would have this lull. And what you find that there are some patterns that there is something that you can systematically fix to even it out. But I think there's also an element that because we only play 17 games, there will be just some randomness in there. Some just like some random patterns. It is. Look, it's harder to win on the road, harder to play on the road, especially when you don't have that crowd advantage on defense. But I'd also say that, we had some of our poor outings on the road, but I think aggregately, as we looked at it, I think we felt better about the performance than maybe the perception, just because we were so dominant at home. So we feel good about the group coming.
What was it, like 6 first downs or something like that?
Yeah,
it was like week 10. They're like, this team has given up 6 first downs all year or something. It's like, what? How is that even possible? And then, was that last year you guys played in Indy?
Yeah, that was in the end zone. Yeah.
I watched this thing, Myles Garrett take over.
That was his signature. I think that was his signature game, like in every way possible. That's
great. He took over the whole game. The stadium took over the Browns fans were in like the top rows and then the bottom. Myles Garrett chants just rang out for like 2 quarters straight, and he was literally in the middle of our stadium just doing this, and then all of a sudden beats double team, strip sack in end zone. Yep, that's over. Oh, we need something up. Jumps over a tackle. It was like watching him live as just a human. It is.
Block a field goal.
He's Superman.
He blocked a field goal.
Blocked a field goal.
Yeah, I mean, he took over the whole thing. Andrew. That's not legal.
I'm glad he's on our team.
Hey, man. How long do you have him locked down for?
I think we have him for 3 more years, Pat.
All right, well, Myles needs to go ask for more money.
Today.
Figure it out. I appreciate the hell out of you for joining us, Andrew. Good luck the rest of the way.
Appreciate it. Enjoyed my time with you guys. You guys take it easy.
Hey, are you one of these? Are you a
Oh yeah, that's right. You've got the barking backers, right?
That's right.
That's right. Our dog fan club.
Yeah, it's
awesome.
Yeah, do you have one as well? Do you have a dog?
Here, hold on. I do have a dog. And hold on. I got mine too.
Hell yeah!
I got mine too. I have an Aussie Doodle.
Oh, do you? Okay, an Aussie Doodle. That's got to have a lot of energy, right? I just heard Doodle in there. Right? It's a lot of energy.
So they typically do, but ours is like the most laid back, chill, borderline lazy dog that there is. So he's very like even keeled.
All right, you got a stoner Aussie Doodle. I like to hear that. The Barking Backers is a membership. All you have to do is email barkingbackers@clevelandbrowns.com to join. It'll give you access to a premium member-only event, Turf and Tales, which happens in June. Priority ticket access to all member events, which include Halloween and Smooches and Pooches.
What?
Yeah, opportunity for your dog to be featured as Dog of the Month. No need to do anything extra here. You're automatically entered whenever you become a member. All you got to do is email barkingbackers@clevelandbrowns.com. And Chomps is the Barking Backers president. Don't know if that's a dog or not, but
shout out Chomps.
Sounds special.
Yeah,
brought to you by Milkbone, Pet Supplies Plus, and Embrace Pet Insurance. I love it. The dog pound's a real deal over there, Andrew.
It is. There's nothing like it. There's nothing like it in the NFL.
Do you bark back at the fans whenever they bark at you?
No, we really bark together. We're like a pack, Pat.
Okay. I like that.
Hell yeah.
Bring them together.
Yep.
Ladies and gentlemen, Andrew Barry. Thank you. Literally since, like, first time you meet him, you're like, oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. This is a president of the United States.
Yeah,
that's fast tracked.
This is right here. This is a president of the United States. Well, actually, just general manager probably. Okay. He got hired at 28, so that means like a 26 or 27 a majority of us in the building wanted him to be a general manager. So it was 2 years before that, whenever I think we did. I don't know the exact number, but yeah. He immediately upon meeting him, knew football, loved ball, played ball, big brain, was able to talk to everybody because he'd been in the locker room. Not that a Harvard locker room is anywhere near the same as most football locker rooms that supply the NFL, but a locker room's still a locker room. So it was like massive respect for him. Now, the Deshaun Watson deal was obviously a big one, largest in the history. I think that had a lot to do with ownership as well, not just Andrew Berry, but him building that team up to be able to withstand all the injuries they had last year, to go on a playoff run. What an absurd weapon that guy is. He's 36 probably.
Yeah, that's crazy.
35.
And Zinter, too. Like, they're bringing Zinter in, and there's 2.
Third round.
Yeah, 2 what? Were they both all pros at one point? Batonio and Wyatt Teller? Like, if there's anyone to learn from, it'd be those 2 guys.
Third rounder.
Yeah.
Zach Zinter.
Dog.
Isn't that crazy? Like a lot of the names I saw getting drafted, I'm like, damn, I thought these guys were, but obviously there's only so many picks.
Yeah.
And that's why the NFL is the NFL. It's hard to make it. It's very, very hard to make it. It's hard to become a GM. Good for Andrew Berry. Let's talk about some other stuff happening around the NFL before we have a hard out here on hour 1. Hour 2, we'll be joined by a bear.
What?
Oh, my God.
A live bear?
Bert Kreischer?
Alive? No, not Bert Kreischer or Tom Segura, although...
Was it one of the AI bears?
No fake bears.
Okay.
This is a real bear.
Dewey?
No way.
It's not Dewey the bear.
Johnson?
No. Spumoni, we will not need.
Okay.
Spumoni, we will not. Jackie Moon, will fight a live bear. That will not be the bear.
Son of a bitch.
Chris Bear Felica.
Oh, Chrissy.
Yeah, he better give us winners, too, for the Derby.
Yeah,
I'm sick of it.
Need 'em.
Every time we have some horse expert on the show for the Kentucky Derby, because it's the only time we care about horses and horse racing, love horses to watch them run out on the prairie.
Sure.
Love watching them run on the prairie.
Of course.
Love driving by, seeing some ponies behind some nice, white fencing going around the field. It is nice to watch those majestic creatures that might have some otherworldly type connections to the universe. Like, I'm a big horse fan.
Yes.
Watching horses race, though, it's tough. It's tough for me because I don't know anything about them. I assume one of the horses is much better than all the other horses. I just never know which horse that is. Those days are long. The races are quick. It's been a tough thing for me to get into. And then obviously what happens with the horses if they happen to get a cramp or something.
Yeah. Well, and we never get winners, to your point.
So this is the year we're going to get winners, though.
Yeah.
This is going to be the year. Chris Bear Felica is coming on here and giving us winners. Speaking of winners, Najee Harris, not a winner. Did not get his 5th-year option picked up by the Pittsburgh Steelers, even though he's gone for 1,000 yards multiple times. Only running back in the NFL to rush for 1,000 yards in each of his first 3 seasons. His 5th-year option has not been exercised by the Pittsburgh Steelers. What's this all about, Tone Diggs? I thought we liked Najee. It's always there.
We do like Najee. My relationship with Najee on the field has been very up and down. Some people on the internet have quoted him of saying, he runs like he's wearing jeans and he just got out of the pool. Like, that's what some people say. But then there's some times where he
that was you, wasn't it?
No. The internet said that.
Was that you?
But three straight 1,000-yard seasons.
Tony, was that you?
It's nothing to laugh about. And the 5th-year option was $6 million. I personally did expect them to pick it up. There's some speculation out of Pittsburgh. They want to see how he does it in the new offense with Artie. And Jaylen Warren is also a dog. There's a lot of people who think Jaylen Warren is the premier back in that offense. So why would you pick up the 5th-year option there? I could kind of see both sides, but I was actually surprised to see that they didn't. It's $6 million. Who knows? But we'll see.
And what did Saquon just get? 10 point something?
Yeah, he got like 3 years. 40.
Yeah, the running back market is obviously very fluid right now. What it will be after this year, we shall see. Najee and Jaylen Warren still in the backfield, but who will be in the future? That's what we're talking about on May 3rd.
That's right.
That's what we're
Got another hour of that shit coming up.
Nice.
Got some winners out of the Kentucky Derby, though, with the Bear, obviously Emmy Award-winning analyst for Game Day. Now with Fox. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice. It might change their life. Take 3. Joining us is a demon. Ladies and gentlemen, O's the Mentalist will be joining us.
All right, O's. Let's go. What's the pick? I'm not giving away for free. Bill, what time is it right now?
7:57.
Write it as big as you can.
Wow.
Okay. It's about to get weird. From this point on, I never touch this bad boy. We're going to revisit later in the draft.
All right, O's, get in here, you sick son
Get
of a
weird.
bitch.
Almost 2 hours.
Hold it. Oh, don't drop it.
Oh, no,
I dropped it.
I dropped it.
Okay. AJ, take the cards, look through them, and here's the thing. I want this to be random. Yeah, you can.
Okay. Yeah. What's up? My hands are a bit frozen, but yeah.
I want you to take, but hold on. I don't want you to look for a favorite.
Bill's booking Sean Payton right now.
There we go. Head boy Bill.
AJ, slow. Lift. No.
One of your guys.
Take off a piece.
Oh,
it could
you
be a
fucked
lot
my
or a little.
shirt. Oh, right here.
And don't look at it. Lift it up.
I'm not.
Put it against your body. That feel right?
Yeah, feels
AJ,
great.
if you don't feel like this was the right moment for you, you want to change, put it back.
All right, I'm putting it back.
It's up to you. All right, lift off wherever you want,
We're back.
more or less.
No, that's not okay. Now I'm good.
3 times.
Good.
Okay.
This is a good one.
Are you sure?
Yeah, of course.
Stay right there, locked and loaded.
Oh, you fucked up my shirt, bro.
Okay. And there is a white piece of paper.
Yep.
Is that right? That's all that's in there. Take that out. I want you to see this. Look, AJ, open it up.
No fucking way.
No
and
way.
show us and show AJ what you got. What is that? Show us. 9 turn around and show us where you're at.
You ready?
Yep, turn it around.
No way. Shut up! This guy!
757, that thing.
What?
That's been in there since 7:57. Imagine that you somehow know the game of the year next season. Tell us, what are the 2 teams that you're seeing in this game? Wow. Say it.
Packers and 49ers.
Who do you think's going to win that game?
Packers 34, Niners 27.
Tell me on your life. Did I tell you to say anything? Did I
you
say
did it, and I swear to God, if you get this right, I'm gonna rip your fucking head off.
Tell him the game of the year.
Oh my
Read
God.
Read it to him, please.
Come on, bro.
Read it to him. Packers beat the 49ers 34-27. Remember this screen grab when it happens this season. Open up what's been in there since 7:57.
Come on, dude. There's something wrong with you.
Open it up. It says Brock Bowers, 30th pick Raiders.
Fuck this guy.
Oh, fucking way! There's no way!
This guy's a witch. Bears, Caleb Williams.
100% we knew it.
Commanders, Jaden Daniels.
No, don't
Patriots, Drake May. Cardinals, Marvin Harrison Jr. Chargers, Joe Walt. Giants, Malik Neighbors. Titans, J.C. Latham. Michael Penix Jr. Roma Dunze. Vikings from
Traded
Jets.
with the Jets.
What? J.J. McCarthy, Jets from Vikings. Olu Fashanu, Broncos, Bo Nixon in the 13th pick.
Oh my God!
Bowers to the Raiders.
I'm so happy I'm not.
Beautiful. Taped on his chest since 7:57. Right now it is 9:50. You're a demon.
The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey, what? Let's go. This show sticks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for. Ah! The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers, you pig! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life. Sport! Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this Feel Good Friday, May 3rd, 2024. Hour 2 of the program starts now. Sports! Almost just had a little bit of a sage fire down here. We can't thank you enough for joining us on this glorious Friday. We're about to have the greatest weekend of all time. I'm not alone. No. The Toxic Table is here at Boston Connor and at Ty Schmidt. One half of the Hammer, Dahn. Cowboys, Tone Diggs is here. It's great to see you. All the boys in the back. Way to go. Way to go, boys.
Hell yeah, boys.
Now, the other half of the Hammer, Dahn. Cowboys, Bubba Gumpino, is a diehard fan of a lot of teams. Mm-hmm. He likes Liverpool, you never walk alone.
That's right.
Never.
He likes the Boston Red Sox, they'll never sell a ticket.
Well,
he likes what?
I mean, let's not say they'll never sell a ticket.
He likes the Dallas Stars. Congrats to Texas Hockey. And his NFL team, even though he's from top left Canada, is the bottom right team in the United States of America. He loves the Miami Dolphins. Well, today, Bubba Gumpino, the former ship painter, our Canadian representative on this particular program, our Dolphins fans representative on this particular program, can go ahead and celebrate a massive dub because it is official. Ladies and gentlemen, Odell Beckham Jr. is now a member of the Miami Dolphins.
Oh.
It started getting leaked this morning. The newsbreakers started saying OBJ is going to the Dolphins. He's doing this. There was an $8 million number that was tossed out there. Then there was a $3 million number that was tossed out there. That's an incentive-laden contract for Odell Beckham Jr. to join the Ferrari-laden offense of the Miami Dolphins. Do we think McDaniel's going to be able to do something? OBJ is the number 3 overall wide receiver? Yeah, we think that's the case. They got Tyreek Hill, who's an actual cheetah in a human fashion. They got Jalen Waddle. That guy's got a sweet celebration. Now, they got Odell Beckham Jr., a Super Bowl winner, a man who's obviously has records with how he started his career, had success in Baltimore, was liked in Baltimore, was in Los Angeles, had success in Los Angeles, was liked in Los Angeles. Cleveland, I think he was liked by his teammates in Cleveland, did not have much success. And then obviously with the Giants, we all know how that whole thing went. Him going to Miami get you zeked up, Bubba Gumpino. How do you feel about it?
I am so juiced about this sign. 1 year, $3 million. I mean, are you kidding me?
Hell
For OBJ with those hands. Unbelievable. This offense just keeps getting better,
Doesn't it feel like OBJ, whenever he was in L.A., was scoring touchdowns every single week?
Oh, yeah.
I assume he loved being in L.A. Miami's an OBJ town, is it not?
Oh, yeah.
Perfect spot. Him and Jalen back together. What happened when they were together last? They win a Super Bowl?
I saw that post. I saw Jalen Ramsey go, what happened last time we were together, And then they were dapping up on the sideline. They won a Super Bowl for the Los Angeles Rams.
Whoa.
Now, obviously saying the addition of Odell Beckham Jr., so that means they're going to win a Super Bowl, might be something that people would think would be said 4-5 years ago. But I don't think that's true. Still got the juice. He's not going to have the coverage shaded towards him at all. He's got the opportunity to kind of feast with Tyreek Hill clearing some shit out. Same with Jalen Waddle. With McDaniel's offense, with him being able to be in motion beforehand, this is just another added piece to a machine that has been tough to keep up with throughout the majority of the NFL season last year. Remember, they hung a 70-piece on a team. Now, when it was -15 in Kansas City, they weren't able to handle it.
Yep.
Will this help that situation? Maybe. But other than that, I like the move. Love the move. And congrats to the Dolphins, who lose Christian Wilkins on defensive side.
Yep.
You don't have to figure that out. They have some situations on defensive side they're going to have to figure out. But you add another piece to a weapon, I like it.
Yes,
a lot for the Dolphins. Allegedly, Tom Pelissero is reporting he turned down more money elsewhere to go to the Dolphins. 1 year proof-it deal maybe for OBJ.
Probably turned down money from New England. But also, for the Dolphins, it feels like they've gotten these unbelievable players for so cheap. Like Odell being $3 million. I think they got Poyer for $2 million. They obviously had, to let go some of their bigger pieces like Wilkins, like Andrew Van Ginkel, of course, as we all know, like Jerome Baker. But the dudes that they slid in there also very good. And yeah, that is tough. Did forget about that photo that was taken in Miami by Odell Beckham Jr. in the New York Football
That was the
Giants.
curse. That's when the curse
What
started.
are you talking about when they were on a boat in Tim's?
It's doing some other stuff too. I mean, you could zoom in on some of those hands.
Whoa, what are you talking
What are you talking about?
Pull it back up. You want to do
Scuba
it?
diving?
We can do it.
I don't think I've zoomed in on any hands. I've just seen a bunch of dudes looking cool on a yacht, which obviously this particular photo has been one that Giants fans don't love. Because they were on a run. They were doing great.
I loved it personally.
Yeah, well, you're a Packers fan, obviously. Reaped the benefit of that. I assume many others love it as well. But Giants fans say this is the one.
Yeah.
This is when it all happened. This is when it was ruined. So OBJ is not the part of the problem. I think it was the boat that they were on that probably jinxed the entire season.
Wow.
But OBJ loves warm weather. OBJ likes the bright lights. And he's getting a lot of that with the Miami Dolphins, Ty.
Yeah, I mean, why not? I'm sure a lot of teams in the NFL would say, hey, if you give me Odell Beckham for $3 million, they'd be, charging to the front of the line to try to do so. But it is kind of interesting that this happens like every year with OBJ. Now it seems like, well, every fan base is like, hey, we want OBJ, and then front officers are just like, yeah, well, we don't want OBJ, and then someone eventually does grab him And I hope he does play well.
He's good for a good 400 yards, 3-4 touchdowns.
That's what I'm saying. Like
Had
that,
almost 600 last
that
year.
didn't
brother.
used to be,
Just came back from major surgery.
That didn't used to be the OBJ stat line. It was, hey, this guy's going for over 1,000 yards and he's going to have at least 9 or 10 touchdowns. I hope he gets back to that. I think in this offense, he has a much better chance to do that. But, I mean, the NFL.
Think about Tyreek Hill and OBJ. Motion this way, motion this way. And then all of a sudden you got Waddle coming out, Mostert coming out. And then it's just like, who are you? What's going on? Whoom. All of a sudden, OBJ can feast his little slant underneath with Tyreek Hill opening it all up with all eyes on Waddle out of the backfield. It's just like a plethora of weapons for McDaniel to use that massive brain. I mean, Gumpy, I think right now you should be thinking Super Bowl or bust.
Whoa. Yeah?
Absolutely. Been thinking it all offseason already. Chop Robinson. The only issue here is how quick can Bradley Chubb and Jalen Phillips get back from their injuries?
Ooh, boy.
That is a massive question mark.
There are some big injuries.
They're doing well. The rehab's going well. And Chop Robinson, he's one of the top defensive players in the draft.
No big deal. You're just going to have to win games, 70 to 63 this year.
Hey,
well, that's what they had to do.
Fun to watch.
Yeah, it will be fun to watch. Dolphins are going to be must-see TV. That's great. Maybe we'll see them on TV more.
They'll be in the playoffs.
Black Friday, perhaps.
Well, the playoffs, the issue with the playoffs is if they end up having to go to a time that has Arctic.
They need home field.
Arctic rush coming in. If Miami can host an entire playoff run with the glitz and the glamour down there,
man.
Think about the celebrities that would be coming through
Tom
to those
Cruise.
games.
Cruise.
It has been a long time
Beckham.
since Miami was a destination, though, that players were wanting to go sign.
Now
like
that-
we used to have to overpay everybody.
You're talking about football-wise.
Yes.
Yeah, because Miami over the last, since COVID became
blew up
the place.
Yeah.
Where everybody wanted to go. And now that the football team is doing well, that's good news. Now Odell Beckham Jr. is allegedly taking less money to go down there. Maybe that will start a trend. They're going to have to win, though. And McDaniel knows that. His conversation with Chop after he got drafted in his office, when he was doing the tour, guy's always himself.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think we've ever caught McDaniel not being McDaniel. No. And I love everything about him. Team loves him too, right? There's been no chatter about the team turning their back on McDaniel after what happened in Kansas City, right?
No, just the defense hated Fangio. That was all.
Yeah, and there was that clip from HBO Hard Knocks in season where McDaniel walked over to the D-backs and he was chirping, trying to get the boys going, and none of the D-backs turned around and listened to him.
Yeah, but there's
that was because they were so pissed off with Fangio's shit.
Yeah.
That's
I'm just saying.
Fangio has been around a long time, has had a lot of success, to not have much with the Miami Dolphins defense. They allegedly did not get along. He's now with Philadelphia. They're begging for a new DC up there. That's a nice little parade for Fangio going back home.
Who's the new DC?
Weaver from Baltimore.
Oh, yeah, Anthony.
Yeah, so him and
Tony Weaves.
Yeah, Tony Weaves.
He's a dog.
Weaves is a dog.
Him and McDonald obviously did a great job last year. The Odell Beckham Jr. connection with Baltimore obviously reigns true. What is this type of guy? Teammates loved him. Remember, Odell got along very well with that Baltimore Ravens team.
Yeah.
Knew his role, too. Like, hey, I'm not the guy. Very comfortable with it. Could bring some good veteran leadership. Now let's pivot to college football. Kirby Smart.
Whoa.
National champion head coach of the Georgia Bulldogs. What's that coming down the track?
Down the track.
It's me machine, red and black.
It's me machine in the red and black.
Kirby Smart just got a big old bag.
Yes, he did.
$130 million, $13 million a year. Kirby Smart, you deserve it. You deserve it. Their team is a wagon. Now, obviously, in the SEC Championship, they ran into a buzzsaw that is the Alabama Crimson Tide. And there might have been a moment on game day that morning in Atlanta where I potentially called the dogs and, did a little about face like, hey, remember all the shit your entire fan base has talked about me all year long? Well, today, the football gods are going to make you pay the piper when give me Alabama to get the win. Now, Alabama goes on to win, so the Georgia Bulldogs fans can't hold that against me. I was just accurately predicting the outcome. But getting to know this Georgia football program over the last few years, where they got blood ball on Tuesdays, he's giving speeches about literally killing people. It is a old school feel down there in Athens, and I love that Kirby's getting rewarded, and I think this is good for the future of college football as a whole. That one of the Saban's retired.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh yeah, he is the
the coach.
He's the guy, yeah.
In college football is just locked down for 10 years at the same spot. Now, will he be able to renegotiate in a few years after they win a few more? Yes. But them saying this is the guy, you deserve it, you earned it, is good for college ball. I'm happy for Kirby Smart.
Yeah, and it not being like a one-off, like, hey, Georgia won one, and now they're going back down. Like, they went back-to-back. And then you could make the argument last year, their only loss being in the SEC championship, how difficult that is. But if you are the person or the people making the decision, athletic director, the whole entire, board, whatever they do you think they just watched that Missouri halftime speech where he predicted exactly what was going to happen in the second half, and they're like, all right, let's just give this guy $13 million a year because he knows how every single one of these games is going to go?
Well, and then maybe they listened to another one of those halftime speeches that maybe was leaked, and they're like, well, if we don't give him money, this guy might kill us.
He's going to kill us. He
might actually kill us, and then he might dog lift leg on our graves afterwards, because that is literally how he talks to the boys.
They also are the favorites to win the national championship and have the Heisman favorite in Carson Beck. So that deal's going to look like a really good deal for a long time, it feels like. By the way, Shadur, I just checked, dropped from co-favorite down to 18th after that whole tweeting thing happened.
18th?
As far as Heisman odds go.
Oh, you got to bet on it now.
Good value now.
I'm about to log into ESPN Bet right now.
The Shador Sanders tweet about, I don't even know who this guy is, probably mid at best. It's like a hilarious tweet if you're going to try to cook somebody. Being quarterback, though, of the team, high profile, you would hope that he would know his teammates. Like that's
yeah.
Like part of the draft analysis is like, well, did he get along with his teammates? What type of leader is he? They're going to throw this tweet in this situation in his face. Media is, but Dion already said there's only 5 places Shador's going to anyways, and I assume all those places are okay and probably have known Shador since he was a kid. So be who you can afford to be in this whole thing. Don't love what went down with Colorado on the internet over the last few days, but it's still the same story. If they win,
right,
it's all good.
Yeah.
If they lose, all of this shit's just going to get thrown in their face, and I assume they know that over
And
there.
if it's neck and neck for like the Heisman between him and like Carson Beck, like those tweets, like that's the exact type of shit that like the people who actually vote for the Heisman are going to be like, we can't give it to this guy. You remember what he was saying about his teammates in the offseason? No way. Like,
but then Shador will come out and say, probably with a rap song.
Yeah.
Talk about didn't win a Heisman because a couple tweets.
Yeah.
Do the whole
Mhm.
thing.
Hey, nice diss
It
track.
just adds into the entire allure. Hey, good luck. Come on. Got a lot of opportunity.
That's right.
Only up from here.
Lot of opportunity. ESPN Bet. Lot of opportunity. Congrats to Kirk Cousins. He's throwing a football for the Atlanta Falcons. He looks good.
Yeah, he does.
Obviously, he had the Achilles. We've seen him throw the ball in a gym. Or in a tennis court, I think, in the past.
Yep.
Now, red jersey on because he's quarterback. Don't touch him. But the arm looks alive. The balls are flying down in Atlanta. In OTAs, phase 2 are off and running. All those people watching him throw the ball are wondering how that compares to Michael Penix Jr., the number 8 overall pick. But once again, since we haven't had a chance to chat with Terry Fontenot or hear Terry Fontenot talk, we don't know if the understanding is that, 2 years from now, Penix is going to be the guy. Or, if Kirk Cousins gets hurt, we got a weapon at quarterback. Nonetheless, the world was upside down that Penix got drafted, because whenever you see those videos of Kirk coming out of OTAs, that's very standard for what he operates like during the season. The guy plays good ball.
Oh, yeah.
He's played good ball everywhere. There was a narrative about him that he couldn't win in a big game, but if you start looking at his stats in those big games, is this Kirk's fault or is this potentially his team's fault? He would never throw his team under the bus, but you would hope that somebody would start pointing out the fact that maybe Kirk actually plays good in these big games. The rest of the team just can't keep up with him. Kirk's a baller.
Yeah.
Kirk's a leader. Kirk is one of one, and Kirk will be able to handle the situation with Penix better than most starting quarterbacks who just got $180 million to call a team their home before even getting there. But I like seeing him spin it, and I'm intrigued by this whole Atlanta Falcons story, Tone Diggs.
Yeah, I am too. Just because, Kirk, I think it's still safe to say, even though Kirk does get more flowers than he did, I don't know, say 5 years ago, he is still, I think, underrated for some reason. Maybe it's because it is a lack of the playoff wins, but that is not on Kirk at all. And I think that's why a lot of people were so upset with the Atlanta pick, is because a lot of people love Penix and love Kirk, and they would love to see both of them succeed and be on the field, at both times next season, but that's not going to happen. But I think the Falcons, I think they're the clear-cut favorites probably to win that division, them and Tampa, as far as it goes, just because of Kirk.
Even with a wasted 8th pick, which is what people say.
Yeah.
And I think that's a whole nother conversation. Could they have got Michael Penix if they trade that move back? Could they have gotten him later potentially. And if you trade back and get a guy, it's a whole different narrative than like sticking, picking. We just paid a guy $180 million. We don't care we're doing this, even though we haven't won and haven't done anything in a long time. And Kirk has never been here, which is a whole nother added situation about the locker room, who's going to love who. Kirk has won over his teammates seemingly everywhere. Remember, we had Kirk Coach Haynes last year in Minnesota. He's going to play good ball.
Yeah, for sure. But that, like, to your point, like, and we heard the Joe Douglas stuff with him saying, hey, Atlanta was trying to trade up to 10. Like, they knew the Raiders probably wanted him, but they need help on the defensive line. Like, Grady Jarrett is coming off an ACL. Like, if they would have got Latu or something like that with the 8th pick, and then you get Penix, you know, at 11 or 12 or whatever the case may be, then I don't think anyone's saying anything. But yeah, I mean, we talked to Kevin O'Connell, like he thought Kirk, if he wouldn't have got hurt last year, like could have potentially won the MVP. Like he's coming off arguably his best season that he's had in a great NFL career.
Back-to-back years.
Yeah, exactly. He played great the year before too. So it's just a week removed from the draft. Again, it has nothing to do with Penix because a lot of people like Penix, but
we all like Penix.
Yeah, but it's still it makes no sense, especially when you look at that division. And the whole narrative going into the draft was, hey, us getting Kirk Cousins, like that's why we are in the driver's seat to win this division. Now we just need, you know, a plug and play starter maybe on the defense or elsewhere, and then like we're really set. And then they took all of that and just were like, nah, I can't pass up Penix. It just makes no sense. It makes no sense.
Well, if Penix ends up playing more than we could imagine earlier than we could imagine because of an injury or something to Kirk, which none of us are pulling for, they'll look like geniuses.
For sure.
Football is a way of figuring itself out. We will certainly judge this as we go on. Kirk Cousins, though, when he starts putting the chains on, he does that quarterback Netflix series, and you start learning about more about him, there ain't nothing like watching a white nerd kind of, you know, transform right in front of our eyes. It's happening here in Indiana.
Yeah. Truly.
Caitlin Clark iced out for a photo shoot with her teammates at the Fever. 2 chains on while they're taking, I guess they shut down the entire city, as they should.
Right.
Hey, Caitlin, you shut down whatever the hell you want to do. But her teammates and her obviously getting along swimmingly, and she seemingly does not take herself seriously at all. Now, she's got the 2 chains on. We'd love to hear what her friends are saying about, oh, Caitlin.
Whoa.
See you iced out, swagged out there in the streets. We love that. I would like to hear what Aaliyah Boston and all her teammates are saying to their friends about Caitlin Clark, because we all saw the Larry Bird, Magic Johnson documentary on NBA TV, where Magic Johnson, after the first time he played with Larry Bird in like a pickup game in high school, went back home and he said, hey, the Whites got one.
Yeah.
The Whites got one in Larry Bird. I wonder if they're saying the same thing about Caitlin. I wonder if Aaliyah Boston is like, hey, listen, the hype, I understand. We're going to be playing in bigger arenas than everybody else. They're actually moving arenas because Caitlin Clark is coming. And a lot of people, a lot of the OGs have been like, we'll see. Yeah, we'll see what she does. They're kind of hating on her a little bit. I would like to hear what her teammates are saying to their friends about Caitlin Clark going, hey, this white,
yeah,
it's a different. She's got no look. She's doing just like Magic was talking about Larry. He was doing. She's doing all that shit. She was at the press conference. She was like, "I've never had the opportunity to play alongside people that I'm playing along. I'm excited for my passes. I like making people look good. It's like, let alone the step back 3 from the logo that she's been able to do her whole life, seemingly. But what she's going to be able to do at the next level, her teammates and her buying in, it's like, let's go, Caitlin Clark. Let's go, Indiana Fever. We're selling out arenas bigger than anybody else, and it feels like the team's coming together right now, which is what training camp's all about.
Yeah, it's been cool to see because I think when she first got drafted, a lot of people assumed like, oh, are her teammates going to hate her right when she comes in because there's so much hype surrounding it. And obviously they all understand that, you know, rising tides raise all the boats around you. But like you said, there's all this media scrutiny because there's so much hype around her, and they've been coming to bat left and right. One thing the NBA, I'll be interested to see if they do it this year, because they just landed for, I don't know where they're playing, but they have a preseason game tonight. Same deal. She's getting mobbed in the airport like Beatlemania. Like they had the whole thing with Brittany Griner, like getting shit on by people in the airport. Like, it's crazy that they just like fly commercial. They're walking through the airport and they're just getting mobbed by everyone walking to where they need to go. Like, I wonder if that is something that she'll change and they'll actually maybe charter some flights so that they don't have to deal with all this shit.
Now, all of this revolves around business, you know? Like, a lot of decisions are being made because money is the root of it. It's like, I saw some people get upset that Caitlin's getting treated differently than everybody else. It's like, well, Caitlin's getting treated differently because Caitlin is doing things that nobody has done. business-wise,
right?
Financial-wise, more eyes on the product, more people coming in. Or a game's always been good. It's like, hey, listen, we're not disagreeing with you, but for some reason, this particular number 22 has brought in a lot more eyes to the WNBA. There's more money coming in is good for the chartered jets, potentially. You know, you sell out all these big arenas, you get more ticket money, you get more advertising money. How about TV ratings going through the roof? How about digital numbers going through the roof? That's good for the entire league. Now, I know there's some OGs who have built the WNBA and are still in the WNBA who say, don't believe the hype, this is bullshit. Well, what about the back-to-back MVP? It's like, amen. Hey, listen, certainly deserve whatever you can get. Be who you can afford to be. You are great, but what Caitlin's about to do for the next generation, I think we aren't going to be walking through, commercial airports going forward. Just early indications. Now, if she struggles, it is going to be loud.
Oh, yeah.
To whom much is given, much is required. If she plays great, it's going to be great for everybody. But if she struggles at all, the amount of shit that is going to get thrown her way because of the Nike deal, because of the arenas, we're using big arenas, because of all the hype, because of everything, it's going to get loud. And she knows that.
Yeah.
She absolutely knows that. That's what it is whenever you're at the top of the mountain.
Yeah, absolutely. And like the older generation, like you mentioned, like sure, some of them may feel a certain way towards the coverage of her, but like I think it was Flo J. Johnson, I think is her last name, from LSU. She just came out and she's like, hey, say what you want about Caitlin Clark. Like she is a star. And what she has done for the game, like America has kind of dubbed her as the one, at least now, for the WNBA to grow massively. So even if that is a conversation, at least the ones around them. And of course, the girls, the clips of the girls that are already on the fever when Caitlin Clark gets drafted, like they go nuts. Like they understand what it is. They know how awesome it is. And sure, Caitlin Clark hasn't played maybe with the talent that are on the fever. And I'm assuming the fever are thinking the same thing. Like, hey, we also haven't had someone like Caitlin Clark who can shoot from all over the place. They did the half court contest shot and she made it on the first one. They're like, hey, she has to shoot it from the other free throw line next time we do this because she is just one of one.
Yeah, we're non-biased though.
Yeah,
that's the thing about us. We are non-biased.
Always.
We're trying to cover this as fairly as possible.
For sure.
But Caitlin Clark's going to win the next 6 championships. Sorry about it.
At least
Hey, Aces, congrats on your little run. That was fun, wasn't it?
It's over now.
That was fun, wasn't it?
The new era.
Welcome to the Fever's W.
Yeah. New queen of the kingdom.
Is it like a sick fever, or is it like feverish?
No, it's like cowbell fever. Like I need more cowbell.
Okay.
No, the fever is like
you're working yourself in.
It's like a hysteria sweeping the nation.
Okay. Yeah, it's like you're so zeked up.
Yeah, exactly.
So zeked up, you got a fever. Nobody's cold going in to watch Caitlin Clark because you're so zeked up.
Right.
Okay.
It feels like a fever, but it's not.
Even if you have rain on.
Exactly.
It's just how jacked up you are.
Right.
It's been a fever dream ever since she's got here.
That's right.
Bingo.
Some people say wet dream. Some people.
Which will give you a fever.
Well, yeah, that one writer. Yeah.
That is what it seemed like he was talking about.
Yeah.
Let's move away from
What's that guy's name?
our non-biased coverage of the W. We love it.
What is it?
Double G.
Gosh.
Joining us now, ladies and gentlemen, is not from the W, although I assume he'll be betting on the W.
Sure.
Because this guy can figure it out. What is it? Anything. One of the largest heads and brains that I've ever encountered. I was very fortunate to be teammates with this man for a year. Then he obviously moved on to Fox Sports' Big Noon Kickoff. He also covers everything else that they have rights to, including the World Cup. And I think everything. Ladies and gentlemen, to give us winners for this weekend's Kentucky Derby, Chris Bear Felici.
Yeah, Am I allowed to do that, or am I going to get in trouble for doing that?
Well, you're allowed to do it. It is kind of creepy, though. Like, they have a full commercial of her and her family and who she's playing for, something bigger. And it's hard not to just be like, in that asshole.
Yeah. Make sure you do it.
You know what I mean? It was a whole thing. Anyways, Chris, great to see you, dude.
Great to see you, man. Saw you in Columbus this past year, but that was about it. You know what sucks for her is that the people out there are automatically going to assume that she's going to go out and average 25, 27, 28 points a game, just like she did at Iowa. And when she doesn't, say she averages 14 points a game, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, that's a hell of a rookie year. But people are going to, oh, wow, she's not averaging 28 points a game. And they just don't get it.
Yeah.
And you're right. I have bet on the NBA before. I'm actually kind of bummed that some other teams are getting better because the Las Vegas Aces have been like free money. It's been like an annuity where you can just put the bet in like May, and then in September, October you're going to have a little extra money to kind of piss away in college football during the year.
Love that. Love pissing away money on bad bets. I mean, we've all been there, done that. The New York Liberty have certainly had quite a run with Beastu and Sabrina and everything like that. But they all know, everybody knows it's Fever's time.
Yeah.
I think your 5 assist number, I think that'll be high. I think her assists are going to go through the roof. I don't know what the points are going to be like. I know the assists are going to be high because they already got clips out of practice. Like she's having the time of her life because she throws those full court passes in college. Now she's got like 6'6" girls that she can throw. It's going to be electrifying. Let's go Fever.
Here we go, Fever.
Let's go Fever. But you're right. If she doesn't do great, people are going to kill her. But that's life at the top, especially Caitlin Clark understands that. Let's talk about being at the top. We're at Kentucky Derby season. Okay, that's happening right now, I believe, down in Louisville. There's races already happening. There's people already boozed up. They're drinking that ass drink. What is it?
Yeah, the mint julep.
Mint julep.
Yeah, excuse me. Can you give me something that tastes like ass? Coming right up, mint julep. Here it comes for the big race tomorrow. Who should we be thinking about, and how do we bet on this entire weekend of Kentucky Derby and actually win, Bear? How do we win here?
The horse that obviously is the favorite in the race, the best horse in the race, is the number 17 horse, Fierceness. Everyone is kind of in agreement that if he gets out to a nice, easy lead and he has things his own way, he'll win. So you kind of have to bet the race two different ways. You need to just put a nice, big, fat win bet on Fierceness to win, and he's probably going to be around 5-2 or so. So you have that avenue. Best horse, he wins. And then you have the avenue that's like you and me and Herb Street and everyone and your guys there, we want to make a score. We're not looking to turn $20 into 50. We're looking to turn $20 into 5,000 or whatever. And in that case, you need to look at a horse like Just a Touch, the number 8 horse, is someone that I think has a huge shot in this race to win. And I think if you want to get a little frisky, maybe you throw an Exacta box in there with a horse like Just a Touch, the 8. Maybe you throw in a horse like the 6 horse, Just Steel. Maybe you throw a horse in there like the 19 Fierceness. I mean, there are many ways to bet this race, but if you're just the amateur bettor and you're looking to make a score, like the $2 Exacta key box, if you bet the 8 Just a Touch with the 3, 4, 6, 7, 17, 19, that's the way to go.
What the hell?
One more time.
What did you just say?
You go 8 with 3, 4, 6, 17, 19. That'll be a $20 bet. So that means Just a Touch has to finish first or second. The 3 horse, the 4 horse, Catching Freedom, 3 horse Mystic Dan, the 4 horse Catching Freedom, the 6 horse Just Steel, the 17 horse Fierceness, and the 19 horse Resilience. One of those has to finish in the other spot. So basically, I'm kind of pushing semi all in on Just a Touch because I think he's primed to run a big race. And there's so many like these old school Derby rules, like, oh, you can't win if you didn't race at 2. You can't win if you didn't run more than 3 times as a 3-year-old. 2018 Justified didn't race as a 2-year-old. He wound up winning the Triple Crown.
So
last year, Mage didn't race at 2. He wound up winning the Derby. So that's kind of those old school rules. They're kind of gone by the wayside. So I think Just a Touch has the most room for improvement here.
Okay, what the hell is that 8, 3, 4, 6, 17, and 19 bet called? You said Exacta key box?
It's called an Exacta key box. I'm keying the 8 horse in first or second, and I'm using the other 5 horses in the other spot. So it basically turns out to be 10 different bets with the 8 on top of those 5 and then those 5 on top of the 8.
I can't wait to sound like a genius when I put this in.
Yep.
So what do I need to say? I walk up or on my phone and I go, all right, Exacta key box. I like the 8, 3, 4, 16, 17, and 19.
Here you go. Give me a $2 Exacta key box. 8 with 3, 4, 6, 17, 19. And they'll know exactly what you're talking about. And then you click it on the phone there. You can click on Exacta and then key box. And then the first column, you click 8. And then the second column, you click 3, 4, 6, 17, 19. And that'll have it covered.
Thank you, Bear. We appreciate the hell out of you. Connor's got a question for you.
Yeah, Bear, what's the deal with Bobby Baffert? Is this guy going to be done from horse racing forever because he just loves
not
making
at
glue,
all.
or-
I mean, he'll be back at the Derby probably next year. It's a weird situation, but Bobby Baffert's going to have a big say in the Triple Crown because if Fierceness wins, Baffert's got a couple of horses sitting in the weeds, just kind of laying and waiting for the winner of the Derby to come in the Preakness. He's got a horse named Muth, and he's got another horse, I believe his name is Imagination. Those two horses are going to be massive factors in the Preakness, and maybe Baffert won't be there tomorrow for the Derby, but he's going to have a big say, and he's still the king of California. Without him, California racing dies. And people can say whether he's good for the sport, bad for the sport. I think he's good for the sport. Everyone needs kind of either a heel or a villain. And did he do what they said he did? Who the hell knows? But Bob Baffert's is good certainly for California racing. He brings a lot of horses to the races, and everyone. Not only does everyone love to hate someone, everybody loves a redemption story as well. So who's to say that couldn't be in the cards either?
You're right. Maybe a story arc. He comes back babyface with that beautiful hair, saying, "I learned what I did." What he did? He put some lotion on the ass of a horse that was illegal, right?
Yeah, allegedly, he put some lotion on the ass of a horse. A groom peed on some hay. There was some tainted ragweed in his feed. There's always a story.
He needs to get some midweed, you know. You got to get that ragweed. I don't know what
he needs a fall guy. Everybody needs a fall guy, right?
I mean, just like Ryan Gosling.
Yeah, I mean, the Fall Guy movie is available today.
Yeah,
I do believe. Great pitch there, Bear. Okay, let's talk about the Derby as a whole before the boys will dive into more. So these are the young horses. These are not the fastest. These are not the fastest horses on earth, right? These are 3-year-old horses racing at the Kentucky Derby. How do we decide that is the most important one, just as a society? Because what are the other ones?
Breeders' Cup.
The Breeders' Cup are like, those are like the fastest horses.
Yes.
Like those are the ones. The Kentucky Derby's not, right? This is just still like college almost.
Yeah, these are kind of your up-and-comers. It's always been, the Derby's been a 3-year-old race, and there have been arguments to maybe make it an older race because the horse at 3 isn't fully developed yet, and they haven't reached their peak. So then when you get into the older horses, that's where you see the Breeders' Cup Classic, the Breeders' Cup Sprint. That would be your fastest horses in the world. Would be in that race running a quarter of a mile in 21 seconds and 43 and change for a half mile. That's a quick fix. That's an instant gratification type race to see those guys run. But then once you get to the Breeders' Cup Classic, you get a bunch of older horses like Flightline, like White Barrio, who have gone on and filled out their bodies, and they really are just rippling with muscles, and they would beat pretty much any 3-year-old in the Derby.
Okay, yeah, I just learned that I think last year.
Yes,
because I thought the Kentucky Derby, like, okay, these are the fastest horses on earth, and they're like, stop right there. Breeders' Cup, actually, is where all the fastest horses are. Well, why is everybody smoking cigars, going down there, drinking a mint juleps, sitting in the billionaire row at this thing? It's like because Louisville and Kentucky as a whole, this is horse state, right? That is kind of what they're known for. Kentucky Derby is the biggest spectacle in horse racing every year, by far, right?
It is. Absolutely. And it's awesome to go to. You guys should go one year.
I want once.
It's a hell of a time.
I want once. It's my birthday weekend. Now it's my daughter's birthday weekend as well. It's going to be tough to go, but I did have a blast down there. Are you going?
No, I'm not going this year. Usually I go and hang with Kirk and all his buddies and whoever else is there. But yeah, I'm leaving for vacation on Monday, so it kind of doesn't work timing wise. Yeah. I got a nice little 15-hour flight to South Africa on Monday, so it's just not going to work for me to get there. I'm gonna be sitting here today. I'm going to be sitting here tomorrow, just punching numbers and betting what appears to be imaginary dollars because that's the danger, man. Like when you see the numbers, the numbers aren't real on the screen. Like it's just you start. Oh, it's not real money. I'm just gonna keep betting and betting and betting. So
yeah, I'm gonna go 8, 3, 4, 6, 17, 19. Yeah. How much is there? Yeah, just do it. At least at the gate, you got to do or at the window, you got to at least do a full give and take at the Derby. When it's on it is hard not to fall in love with what is that? 17 to 1.
It's even worse in sports because it's like, oh yeah, do I really want to bet $500 on the Maple Leafs to win?
Whoa.
Yeah, it's not real money. What the hell?
The hell?
We need to promote responsible gambling.
Yep.
It is.
Yes.
It is real money.
I heard you guys talking about ESPN Bet. Like I'm bummed because I'm in Connecticut here. I don't even have ESPN Bet in Connecticut because the state is still so screwed up. I can only bet in Connecticut on FanDuel and DraftKings because Fanatics, who's in the state, won't even let me bet more than $10 because I took advantage of like their bad soccer numbers on their team totals. So that I got like 10 days of action out of Fanatics before they stopped allowing me to bet more than $10. So
Hey,
I need ESPN Bet in Connecticut. That'll help the bat if they get me firing it on them.
Well, amen. We can definitely. You get a couple big fish out there that don't even view the numbers as real money in their app. You certainly would want that as a sports book. But I didn't know ESPN Bet was not in Connecticut. ESPN is in Connecticut.
Yeah, that's where they're based.
It is.
Yeah.
There's so much. There's so much to it. Like I don't know anybody at ESPN Bet or at Penn. And obviously, we are now licensing our show on ESPN, and we would like to see ESPN have success for sure, especially if their name's on there. But I think it's being operated by the Penn people. It's just like kind of ESPN's a part of it. And I
Correct.
go ahead.
Yeah, Penn's the odds platform, and then ESPN just throws their name on it for
and marketing. I think there's marketing behind the whole deal. And you use the app. It's like, okay, feels like there's going to have to be some stuff here, but then you just assume it's doing well. I just kind of assumed it was doing well. ESPN Bet's doing well. We're betting on it. Okay, we move on. And then they make the announcement. It's like, nope. That's a tough thing to crack into. But your tech, Bear, the tech has to be good. That is the number one thing. I don't know if a lot of these sports books or newer sports books understand it. The user experience on there has to be has to be great. If not, there's other options that have been in it for like 10 years, 15 years as fantasy platforms. So they already have, ESPN Bet's hey, you're good. Good. Got it. They got time. Well, kind of do their thing. I do like whenever you would bitch, though, about these sports books that would be shutting him down. It'd come in on Friday, we got that production meeting, and then all of a sudden I'm chit-chatting, and we got to do the whole slate. We're picking games, So I'll go, Bear, how do you feel about this? And he goes, I really like this. And I'm like, how much are we betting? He goes, well, nobody's letting me bet this week. And I'm like, what do you mean? He goes, they're all just shut. They're throttling my account. I'm like, what do you mean they're throttling your account? And he's like, look, he tries to put a bet in, can't do it. They say max bet $5. He's like, I've never bet $5 in my entire life. You're a marked man, Bear. That's why we're lucky that you're here. Tone has a question for you.
Yeah, Bear. Pat's one main gripe with the Kentucky Derby has been that it's this entire huge lead up until the one big final race. Now, to get past that, I am a big. We talked about horse racing. I'm betting one day a year. I'm trying to bet 20 to win 1,000, 2,000, whatever. So I'm a big pick 3, pick 4, which for people that don't know is you're picking the last 3 races or the winner of the last 4 races, whatever. So obviously in that last one, because you told me I'm going to go 8-17 to close out that. But do you have, and I know I'm putting you on the spot here, do you have anything for like those last 3-4 races for a nice pick 3,
no,
pick 4?
You're speaking my language, bud. You're speaking my language. I love a horse in the Turf Classic right before the Kentucky Derby. The one horse integration is the horse that I really like there. This is a horse. Shug McGahee is the trainer. He was the beaten favorite in the Pegasus a couple of races back. And then in his last race, he had a wide trip all the way around. He should love the stretch from a mile to 1 1/8. He's going to get a better draw. He's 5-1 on the morning line. I'm not sure if we're going to get 5-1. But he's a horse you absolutely have to use in that race. The one horse integration. I would also consider using the 5 horse program trading as well. And then in the 10th race, the race 2 before, the Kentucky Derby. I like the 9-horse 3 Technique as my top pick. He's 10-1 on the morning line, and I think the other horse, Zozos, the 6-horse, is probably the favorite in the race. You probably have to use him. And then the 9-horse in the ninth race, the American Turf, which would be starting that pick 4, 9, 10, 11, 12 would be in the Derby. I would look at the number 11 horse, Cugino, the number 7 horse, Stay Hot, and the number 13 horse is Ken Group, I think the horse's name is. So,
hey, it's supposed to rain, Bear. We've taken this into consideration. You talk about the American Turf. Might be a little slower. We need some mutters out there. We got any mutters out there?
That's the concern. Like, if the turf comes up really soft, like that might favor some of the European horses, and that's kind of where you need to go back and look at the past performances. Like, who likes the off going in the turf? Who likes it soft? And the way I'm kind of handicapping it right now, I think today is gonna be crappy. But by tomorrow, by mid-afternoon, it should kind of clear out. And I've been to enough of these where you're looking and it's like, oh my God, this is going to be a sloppy track. Turf's going to be a bog. How the hell are they going to run? And then by 5 o'clock, it's beautiful out. So I think they're going to be okay tomorrow. But yeah, if you play a 50-cent pick 4 with 3 horses, with 2 horses, with 2 horses, with 2 horses, that's only going to 5 times 2 is 10. 20, well, no, 3 by 6, 12. That's only going to cost you $12. So, it's,
hey, you know that gif of Zach Galifianakis? You know which one I'm talking about, where there's like question marks and a math equation taking place? Yeah, and he's trying to figure it all out. That's what just happened. Live on the screen right there. Either 50 cents, there's 2 or 3 horses, 6 or 10, 12. That's only $12 that'll count there. I love watching your brain just go, just start to calculate everything that's popping off. We have a guy who has a big brain, obviously, in everything, but more specifically in horse racing. This guy owned a horse once. It ended up dead, I think.
No, not dead.
Dead.
Bottles at Elmer's Glue. Max Player.
Max Player, obviously, hell of a run. Didn't live up to expectations.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Max Player, nice horse.
One of your favorites. Great horse. 3rd in the Belmont.
Linda had him by the time he ran to the Belmont, right? He was out of Steve's barn?
Yeah, well, it was like one of those, I think it's called RLX thing, where you can kind of buy a hoof for, like $5,000 and then get nothing back ever and just root for the horse.
And then when it gets killed, you don't feel as bad because literally you only lost the hoof.
And you get a glue stick.
Yeah, and
he's not on the house.
All right?
Max Player's not dead.
He's at the stud. He's having a blast.
He never won, right? Max Player never won.
I assume he won.
Well, he won his maiden race, but
come on, no, he won at Aqueduct. What is it?
They said
the
that
Memorial.
Horse. They sent that horse to Game of Thrones, and it was murdered immediately.
Anyways, happy to hear that horse is still alive, Max Player. Go ahead, Bruce.
Yeah, Bear, back to the big one. If Fierceness, for whatever reason, doesn't really fire, I keep going back to the Risen Star as a race that the Derby could look a lot like. Am I wrong for putting too much stock into the 4, Catching Freedom, or the 2? I know it's tough on the rail, especially out of the gate with Sierra Leone there. And then my second question... Track Phantom, do you think that'll be the speed there coming out?
Yeah, I think the way Track Phantom has worked in the last couple of weeks, like he's adding blinkers in the race. And if you're adding blinkers in a race, you're really trying to focus the horse to get him locked in to run as fast as he can for as long as he can. So I think you're absolutely going to see Track Phantom on the lead. I think you're going to see the 1 Dornoch on the lead. He's had no choice but to send. And Louis Saez, the jockey on the 1 Dornoch, is an all-out front-end rider. If you follow where he usually runs at Gulfstream, he's a speed jockey. And if you search in the interweb, in faraway places offshore, you can get Dornoch at like 13-1 or 14-1 to potentially finish last.
Damn.
And that might be something that you might be interested in. But I do think Track Phantom is someone who's going to be on the lead and have a massive effect in this race. And that's how I think it's going to play out. Like, I don't think Fierceness has its own way in this race. And every time he hasn't had his own way, he's kind of thrown in the towel and he hasn't overcome adversity. So, like, if he hasn't overcome the adversity yet, what makes you think he's going to do it tomorrow in the biggest race of his career, in the biggest field of his career, within the best field of his career, with 150,000 people screaming? Like, I don't think it's going to happen, and that does bring in the 4-horse Catching Freedom, who won the Louisiana Derby, in Sierra Leone, the 2 who I think a lot of people think that by the end of the year he might be the best 3-year-old, but that 2 post is a problem, man.
Yeah, it is.
If he's going to have to take all the way back and wind up passing 19 horses to get up and win, I think that's going to be a hard time. If you're looking maybe for another long shot, the one that I mentioned, the 6-horse Just Steel might be one of the horses in that 20-1 range to get up there. But yeah, Sierra Leone is a horse I'm going to use underneath in my exacta, in my trifecta, but I just don't think he's going to be able to get up there in time to win. If he does, he's a friggin' super horse.
Yeah, he is, and that's what we're looking for is the super horses out there, just like you are, Bruce, a super horse.
Hey, Bruce.
Way to go, Bruce. Real horsey question you asked right there. That sounded like you knew the lingo. You proved yourself, feels like there. That was good work.
Yeah, I mean, genuinely curious. Great answer. Thank you, Bear.
Hey, thank you, Bear. Hey, Bear, just for some of us, what when we're doing trifectas and exactas and everything like that, how do the numbers come together? We're calculating and adding up the odds, and then that's creating one bigger odd. Like, let's say I got 17-1, 5-2, and a 20-1. And I'm piecing them together. How does that all come together, and how much money am I making off like a $5 bet?
Yeah, it's just gonna depend on the prices of the horses that you use. Now, if you're going to use Resilience, Catching Freedom in Sierra Leone, you're going to use the top 3 choices in the race. You're not going to get a very good return on your $5 bet. But if you wind up getting other long shots in there, that's ultimately what is going to cause the trifecta or the exacta to pay. The fewer of the top choices and the fewer of the short-priced horses that are in there, the more your trifecta is going to pay rather. And in order to figure out how much it's going to cost to play the ticket, you're basically just multiplying how many spots you have in first times how many spots you have in second times how many spots you have in third, and taking away like one, like if you're using 2 horses on top, 4 horses for second, and 5 horses for third, you're basically just going 2 times by 3 by 4 and taking out one of the other horses that will have been in one of the other legs. So that's the quick, easy way to try and figure out how much it costs to play.
Yep, makes complete sense whenever you lay it out like that.
Yep,
honestly.
absolutely.
It makes complete sense when you start doing the math. That's like whenever you put a parlay together, which once again, ESPN bet, like there's some that aren't even, not even getting into it. But whenever you put a parlay together, I'll just see like what the odds are at the end, and I'm like, yeah, they wouldn't lie to me. That seems right. But I have no idea how we got here. No clue how we got here. I assume you are a guy that would be able to figure that out, but I think there's only probably, 15 to 20 of you walking around the earth?
Now, I rely on the computer and the app to figure it out for me. I mean, could I spend the time to multiply it out? Sure, but when they're making it nice and easy and adding it up as you go along, that's something that I enjoy them doing. But yeah, one of your former partners gave me a free bet, and I feel pretty good about my situation right now. They gave me a free bet on maybe however I wanted to use it. So I'm like, you know what? And this was in early March. I decided to play. I played the Carolina Hurricanes to win the Stanley Cup. They were 8-1 at the time. I played the Denver Nuggets to win the NBA title. They were plus 425. And Iga Swiatek to win the French Open at like plus 110. So if those 3 things happy, I'm going to be very happy.
What were the odds?
So thank you to your former your former partner for that.
You're talking about FanDuel?
I am.
Okay, well, I know there was many times where you were pissed at FanDuel, so I'm happy to hear that they have given you a free...
No, we're good now, man. I'm good FanDuel. I'm good DraftKings. It's all the other ones. Yeah, the odds on that part, I'm pulling it up right here for you right now, just to give you the exact number. That was go along here.
It's a Feel Good Friday.
That was 92 to 1. Well, I should say plus 92.60. Actually, 9,000 to 1. 9,000 to 1.
Could you fathom these people are like, you know what? Let's get back good with Felica. let's give him a free bet. And he goes, oh, is that right?
Okay.
All right, I'm going to get a plus 9,000.
See, I'm good for them though. I like giving good publicity to all these books because when I'm happy and I'm promoting them, like they should be happy because we got an audience. It's like, well, why would you want to make like me or you or other colleagues of mine who bet? Why would you want to like limit them and make their experience miserable? You want these people happy, like you want them to say, hey, you know what? FanDuel gave me a great DraftKings did this for me.
So you're pitting these guys against each other. I like that, Bear. Work them, Bear. Get more free bets.
Hey, I'm a man of the people. I love having as many outs as I possibly can. Like if I'm happy, they should be happy. I'm promoting them and putting some funds through their book.
Well, also, we're happy that you joined us today. We obviously miss you on a week-to-week basis, but we appreciate the fact that you're killing it. Thank you so much, Chris, out of nowhere, dropping a by.
Absolutely. Great talking to you guys, man. Let's do it again soon.
Hey, if we get a winner,
Oh, yeah.
If fierce,
just a touch.
Yeah, just a touch is who we like. If we don't like fierceness, who's the heavy favorite? We appreciate you. Ladies and gentlemen, the Bear, Christopher Lika. Watch his brain just start calculating.
Oh, yeah.
It's crazy.
He did on game day. You'd ask him a question, then he would have to start piecing things together, and you're literally just watching right behind the eyes, a full-on Google search happening. It's like, Jesus Christ, look at this thing. Fox got a weapon when they got Bear. We obviously miss him, but it sounds like we got a winner. What you need to do, exact the key box, 8, 3, 4, 6, 17, and 19. That's going to get it. What's that bet? I have no idea, but I think it's going to be a winner.
Yep.
And I'm pumped about that. Hour 3 will continue on YouTube and ESPN Plus and on TikTok, even though they're reporting us because we potentially brought up a 757. Have a great weekend. We'll see you on Monday.
Really?
I didn't know that.
I think so. I don't know if it's TikTok or people are coming in reporting us.
Okay.
Report stream.
Sure.
Yeah.
Kills us on TikTok.
Well, at least it isn't the other type of kill,
Let's get to a break. You're 100% right.
Just saying.
I've got a text from Tyrese Halliburton. He said, hey, big dog, I don't want to do any interviews till after playoffs.
Locked in.
You go do your thing, Hallie.
Yeah, locked in. Got to finish the story.
There.
This is Obi.
Okay.
Obi had a great game last year.
He did.
Boom. Just fucking behind it. There's a Halliburton jersey, right?
Oh, I thought they're...
God, that's weird.
This is my jersey.
Yeah. You and Obi, yeah.
Yeah, I knew that was mine, not Obi's.
Yeah. Well, his is sitting around here somewhere.
A little lower. Yep.
No, it was in here.
Oh, really?
Oh, there.
No, I'm okay. It's not a Hallie jersey. We don't have one.
That's whose fault is that? Hallie?
It's mine.
No,
Should buy it. Support the biz. How about this jersey coming out of nowhere?
Clean.
Non-biased.
Great jersey.
Is that their home or away?
I don't know. Red's tough. They need to figure that one out.
I thought it was alternate.
Oh, okay.
Oh, this is alternate?
I thought that was alternate, yes.
Okay.
You should know you're a season ticket.
Yeah, I believe they have the white.
Pacers are blue. Colts are blue. Let's be blue.
I think they do have a navy, don't they?
Yeah, like in that video, if we pull it back up of her wearing the chains, I believe those are their home jerseys. And they're
she looks so cool. She was
great. Heavy the aways. Yeah, they're dark blue and yellow.
Okay, good. They're gonna win. So whatever they wear is gonna be awesome because it's gonna be championship caliber.
Yeah,
bingo.
It's gonna be elite. I would like to hear them say, "You should see this."
Yeah,
we did not in this. She does that full court, no look,
and it goes in.
She's like jacked about passing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that gets me jacked up.
Yeah, her and Aaliyah Boston are going to be awesome.
Yeah, she was like, layup for Aaliyah is all we're looking for. Because they're going to have to come out.
Yeah.
So whenever they have to come out to get her, what's that open up? Space.
Gonna be dominant in the pick and roll.
Oh, I hope she's great.
She will be.
I hope they run a couple 2-3 zones against her.
They said her tryout for the USA team will be throughout her start of her W. We'll be able to find out quickly.
I think they know.
I think we all do.
Yeah.
2-2's the real deal, brother.
We got the one.
Yeah.
We got the
2-2's
one.
the real deal, brother. It's great news. Let's get to a break. Evander Kane will join us on the other side. Obviously a winger for the Oilers who just beat the Los Angeles Kings in the first round of the NHL playoffs. We'll talk to him. We're talking tough guy here.
Big time.
Evander Kane, tough guy. He is how old?
He is 32 years old, and this is his 15th year in the NHL.
And you don't have to be Chris Felica to do that math. Nope. Yeah, he started as a youngin', and he's been tough the entire time. Lucky he'll be joining us. Hockey is awesome. Then we'll propel into the greatest weekend of all time. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice. It might change their life. Take 5.
I'm mic'd up, so let's not say anything.
You're the head coach. I didn't get that nod.
I almost puked right there.
High Street's still High Street.
Yeah. Coach, thanks for having us.
Do I have any eligibility left? No, I don't. Nasty natty. This is a game winner I took away from you?
Yep.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's all right.
Love you, bro. Let's go on these.
Hey, boys, I have no idea how, but we're in the lead right now.
Y'all ready to go? Let's get it. Let's get it, man. Ball out.
We are currently in the lead. Did you know that? I did not know that.
Blue squad on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Blue squad. Let's throw it to the gold team, Nico.
I need a defensive player to come talk to me and tell me what the hell is being called right now.
I don't think he tackled him there in real life, but...
Did we just bring a corner blitz from the field?
Yeah. I just learned that we're winning. Let's go.
Keep contained. Oh, come on.
Did you put your 4 up over there, Pat? Put your 4 up, G. Put your 4 up, G. Oh my God, this guy. This NIL thing, nobody even puts their 4s up anymore.
Going for two. Where's my kicker? Tell him I apologize.
Spin it, bud, spin it.
100% of the passes thrown out of bounds are incomplete.
You only got 1 ball? You guys only got 1 good ball?
Yeah, bunch of stuff.
Yes, sir. You have officially become my kicker. That's what I'm talking about, big dog. Good kick. Forget Pat Matt.
Yup! Yeah, good for you. The wind picked up at your back, too, as you were catching a snap.
Kind of helps.
What a dream.
There we go. Yeah, coach.
Thank you, boys. Thank you, boys. Thank you, boys. Thank you. That was up. Thank you, boys. Thank you, guys. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, the commissioner of the NFL. Don't listen to them. No. Roger, good. Shut your mouth. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for joining us. Yeah. You're our commissioner. Don't worry about these bums. From us to you, we'd like to give you a gift that we know you're a big fan of. Ladies and gentlemen, some peanut M&Ms for our commission.
This is just while we're on set?
Yep, you can take these with you. You can take them home.
I might just I got a gift for you.
What? Oh.
You ready?
Yeah, I like that.
With the 222nd pick in the 2009 NFL Draft.
Oh, yeah.
The Indianapolis Colts select Pat McAfee. Hunter, West Virginia.
Hell yeah!
Come on here, baby.
Good pick.
Thank you, Raj. I'll pick him up. Thank you, Raj. I'm not going to pick you up because you got that
That's
back.
all right.
Yeah.
I got it. There's your card, baby. That's real.
That's awesome.
I've been keeping that for, 15 years?
You had it in your back pocket this whole time. This is cool. Thank you for this. So whenever we say that you have to answer to 31 billionaires, how accurate is that?
32. Well, you're not counting Green Bay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because
doesn't count.
Big pop. There's a Green Bay Packers.
I didn't know he did.
Yeah, no, that was.
I don't actually think that way. I actually think I answer to them. I think I answer to the media partners. I think I answer the players. I think I answer to the owners too. The idea for me is to try to keep everyone happy. I always say that my biggest job is not to piss off more than 24 owners in a given day.
How did you know the draft would be awesome if you traveled it, and did you see this happening?
I'd be kidding you if I thought it was going to be as big as it is. We felt like we could be bigger than we were in Radio City. But what happened is Radio City actually put a holiday show in and said, you can't have the draft until June. And that's when we said, we're out of here.
So they kicked you out.
That's when we went on the road.
Well, Taylor Swift, we know.
Well, that's a different kind of influence.
How about, hey, listen, a lot of jokes from
They're booing Taylor Swift.
Yeah, you can't boo.
They're idiots.
Yeah, you're going to be a part of an album.
Wow.
Do it. Get
louder. Get a little louder. She is going to cook you. A lot of the internet was saying Roger Goodell was sitting at home through the moon about this.
Well, they thought it was part of the script.
Yes, everyone talks to her. There it is.
No,
Is there a thought of adding another one, maybe adding another bye week, or are we good at 17 right now?
Well, I think we're good at 17 now, but listen, we're looking at how we continue. I'm not a fan of the preseason. I don't think we need three.
Waste of time, right? And energy.
I don't buy it, and I don't think these guys like it either.
Well, they have to spend full price for the tickets for those games.
No, they're actually discounted now. So
Thank you for doing that.
I'd rather replace a preseason game with a regular season any day. That's just picking quality, right? If we got to 18-2, that's not an unreasonable thing. The other thing it does, which I thought you were going to, is that ends up on President's Day weekend, which is a 3-day weekend, which makes a Sunday night, and then you have Monday off. So that's
wow.
Now we're cooking.
See,
now we're cooking.
Can you talk to the president about having the Monday after Super Bowl off too?
Here we go. Trying to transition from kicking a football, which is like up and out, like up and through, to send that fucker to a soccer shot, which is kind of like fluid. I put no less than 15 balls way over the net already. Just trying to get one top in to kind of go home happy about it, Just like you'll be happy after you wipe your ass with a dude behind you. 20 yards out here.
Probably the most interesting trade was the Randy Moss trade. After the draft, the first day of the draft, we've been trying to trade for Randy Moss for 2 months. All like childbirth. I mean, it took forever. After the first day of the draft, I talked to Mr. Davis. I said, are we going to make this deal or not? And he said, yeah, we'll do it. We'll do it for your 4th. And I think we were picking like 7th in the 4th round. I said, well, we got to get the guy in for a physical. We can't take his contract. We're going to have to renegotiate his contract. And Mr. Davis said, well, that's your problem. If you want to trade for him, then you get it done. I said, all right. I call up Randy. Hey, Randy, this is Coach Belichick. Boom. Hangs up the phone.
What?
Let me try this again. Randy, it's Coach Belichick. Who is this? Who's pranking me? Who is this? Bam. Hangs up the phone. Randy, this is Coach Belichick. We traded for you. What? Is this a joke? This better not be a joke. Who is this? No. This is, all right. Really? I said, yeah, but look, we got to get this done by tomorrow at noon. He goes, all right, what do I need to do? I said, you need to come up, take a physical, and we need to renegotiate your contract. It's by noon? Yeah. He goes, well, I'm in Houston now, but I got a plane. I'll be there.
Nice.
He flies, and he's there at 8 o'clock in the morning, comes in and takes the physical. You know, the old,
Yeah. Make sure he's
live. Okay, you're good. Renegotiate the contract. We're done at 10 o'clock. And first thing he says to me is, where's the playbook?
Oh, that's awesome.
I said, right here. He said, okay, because when I walk out there with the first team with Brady, I got to know all the plays. I can't go out there and make mental errors and screw up. I got to know his offense. And he was smart, man. This guy was smart. On this post-safety coverage, what are you going to do? He goes, Coach, you ain't going to see any post-safety coverage against me. Like, oh. He goes, you're going to see cover 2. We haven't seen cover 2 in years. He's like, you're going to see cover 2. And he was right. And then he would say, well, here's how I'd run this route. Here's how I'd run that route. And I started thinking, like, we got to start giving Randy some routes. We're running this, and they play cover 2. How we can move him into the slot. He's like, move me into the slot. I said, yes, so you can get in the middle and cover 2. He's like, all right, good. 25 touchdowns.
So many.
Yeah, opens up the running game, too.
I'm telling you, it was... Randy, come on, man. I'm trying to...
Hey.
Why?
Let's go. This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for. Ah! The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers, you pig! Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life. Sport! Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to our Humble the Bone, the Thunderdome, on this Feel Good Friday, May 3rd, 2024. Hour 3 of the program starts now.
Sports!
Are wonderful, and there are two sports that are in the middle of a playoff run that are must watch. Now, the NBA is one of them, and certainly it is taking place every night. We have breaking news out of the NBA. The Los Angeles Lakers have fired Darvin Ham as their head coach. Now all eyes are on who will be tasked with running the Los Angeles Lakers next. Is it going to be J.J. Redick, who has potentially been interviewing with LeBron James for this entire podcast, Mind the Game experience, or will it be somebody else that knows that if they go in there and not win immediately, they're going to get fired and run out of town? Yeah. Frank Vogel, he's gone. He might be gone from Phoenix even. Darvin Ham, he's gone. How you doing? Keep it moving. Now, with LeBron allegedly set to make 3 years, $160 million or something like that, and maybe Bronny James joining him at the Lakers, and the way the team is set up, who is the right person to go in there and get a win? The Lakers said it's not Darvin Ham. Now, we don't know much about Darvin Ham other than the fact that we saw him do some interviews. Seems like an absolute dog. But if you're coaching LeBron, you don't win, you're going to get fired. That's been the history of LeBron James basketball. The talk tables here at Boston Connor and at Ty Schmidt. Kind of been rumblings about this with Darvin Ham for like the last 3 months, maybe.
Yeah, very weird. And then the J.J. Redick thing has kind of come out of nowhere, too, which is pretty crazy. I did also see that there is some rumblings, and this might be complete NBA rumor mill type shit, but Ty Lue, coach of the Clippers, who coached LeBron at the Cavs when they won the title, against the Warriors, allegedly maybe a little switcheroo, Clippers to Lakers in LA with Ty Lue. Very hard to imagine that happening, but that's another name kind of floating around.
Yeah, I'm sure they can tie stories together for a lot of people. LeBron's been in the NBA for 30 years, so I'm sure there's going to be connections and thoughts and everything like that. You fire a head coach, obviously you're sending a message, Tone. They won the in-season tournament. They hung a banner. That's not enough.
Listen, when you win the in-season tournament, expectations are to win the actual NBA championship, the Larry-O, as we say. And when that doesn't happen...
We do say that.
Yeah, around here we do. And when that doesn't happen, heads are going to fly. There was a meme or something on the internet you could say. It was a few weeks ago when LeBron was shooting just stares right through Darvin Ham, and everyone knew it was time. And yeah, there's been a couple basketball podcasts that have tied together J.J. Redick interviewing for that job, and it feels like that's just going to happen.
Yeah, McCants on Gil's Arena laid out quite a case about LeBron's been interviewing J.J. for the entire podcast. They're actually breaking down film. They have a dry erase board going, all right, when this happens, what happens here? J.J. has seemingly passed with flying colors, and they've been drunk. They're drinking wine in there while doing it. So will J.J. Redick be the next head coach? Who knows? I do know that Darvin Ham came out in an interview and said, when one of your superstars sucks, Tension, what do you want me to do?
Continues.
Good luck wherever you head, Darvin, and good luck to the Lakers finding their next. Now, in that city is a hockey team called the Kings. The Kings, in their first round of the NHL playoffs, took on the Edmonton Oilers. The Edmonton Oilers have been a team that has obviously been electrifying, but are they ever going to win the big one? Well, ladies and gentlemen, they won their first series in electrifying fashion. Now they're waiting on the winner of the Couves in the Nashville Predator series to see who they got next. Joining us now, winger, 32 years old, been in the NHL for 15 years. Ladies and gentlemen, Evander Kane. How are you, man?
Good, how are you?
Hey, sorry we had to break that Darvin Ham news. It literally just happened, so I know you sat around and waited for that entire thing. You're the man. We tried to do it as quickly and as efficiently as possible because we're not a basketball show at all, but that's huge news happening around the Lakers. Thank you for hanging out and hopefully not hating us because of it.
All good. I appreciated the breakdown with you and JJ and LeBron, so it's good stuff.
See, that's sports media in a nutshell. You bring in LeBron, you can bring in the Lakers, you can bring in JJ Redick. I mean, that is just... mix it all up. What do you got? Sports media in a nutshell. But now we have a great chance to talk about how hockey is awesome. And Evander, thank you for all that you've done for hockey over the last decade and a half, legitimately, and obviously before that as you were trying to make it. Let's talk about this Oilers team. Massive win over the Kings in the first round. The question, I think, nationally has always been, well, internationally, because you guys are in Canada, you get it, has been like, can this team make the run? Can this team go and do it? Playoff hockey, different than regular season hockey. Does it feel different this year with the team? And where do you guys stand now mentally as we're one series into this playoff run?
Yeah, I think the last 3 years, obviously, we've had a team to make a run at a Stanley Cup. The previous 2 years, we've come up short. But I think, in order to actually ultimately win a Stanley Cup, you kind of have to go through those trials and tribulations and have those disappointments. And I think this year we've taken a lot of that experience, put it to work. We've played LA 3 years in a row now in the first round. Took care of them a little quicker this year, which was nice, to give our bodies a little bit more rest and get ready for round 2 against the Canucks or Nashville.
Yeah, we talked to Kachuk down at the Florida Panthers. They're waiting too for Toronto, Boston, and they said it's a you rest your body a little bit, but also eager to kind of get back out there and kind of do your thing. The NHL playoffs are second to none. Do your bodies just go to shit? Like you're just getting your asses kicked every night? Is that an accurate depiction of what's taking place for 3 periods in the middle of playoff hockey?
I'd say so, yeah. I mean, you're literally, if you look at the hit totals comparatively to the regular season to NHL playoffs, especially in this first round, I mean, it's like quadruple the amount of hits in the NHL playoffs. So obviously your bodies are going to feel a little different after games, and you're playing every other day, and you're fighting there sometimes as well, which is a rarity in the playoffs, but it does happen. And I think for me, especially at year 15, I'll take any rest I can get.
Yeah, you started as a 12-year-old in the NHL. We did the math there. You are a tough guy. Were you, when you get in the league, 17, 18 years old, tough guy as well? Obviously, you're an incredibly talented scorer, and let's not take that away, because a lot of goons, into past hockey didn't have much skill. It's like, hey, we're here to protect people, and then we're off. You're incredibly skilled, talented, but also not scared. Have you been doing this since you got into the league 15 years ago? We're not scared to throw hands a little bit?
Yeah, you know what? It's something that I kind of incorporated into my training. My dad did when I was like 12 years old. He did a little bit of boxing. My cousin, he was actually a professional boxer, Kirk Johnson. So we kind of incorporated that training into my hockey training. And then obviously as you get older, you're allowed to fight at different levels of hockey. So my dad wanted to make sure that I could protect myself and be able to handle myself if I ever got into that situation. So, and then obviously playing in the Western League was a tough league back when I played, and there was probably a fight to start every hockey game. So that type of stuff you just kind of grow up with and learn as you grow, and never been afraid to stick up for myself or my teammates.
It feels like over 15 years, the fighting stance from the NHL has gone through quite a bit. Like, feels like we're almost back to hey, if you want to self-police it and you want to fight, you can fight. Like, the NHL there for a while, though, was trying to get it out of the game, right? Didn't it feel like that?
Yeah, it did. I think, if you look at not just hockey, but a lot of sports, football, for example, and different hits, they're trying to get out of the game. Hockey's kind of no different. But, when hockey was trying to kind of limit fighting, you saw a lot more of the stick infractions happen. And I think what it does is it holds guys accountable. It keeps guys honest out there, and knowing that there is a bit of a bigger consequence if you want to do something stupid.
Let's talk about doing something stupid. It seems like when McJesus has the puck on his stick, it's stupid. It is. We were actually at the LA Kings game during the regular season, and it ends up going to shootout, I believe, and watching him live, it's like this guy is on turbo seemingly all the time, and he is just nasty, filthy. How do you compare him to other guys around the league, and what is it like to be on the same squad as old Connor McDavid?
Yeah, I mean, I really don't think there's that many comparables to him, not just around the league, but probably in the history of the game. You could throw a guy like Nathan McKinnon in that group. But,
Sidney Crosby.
There's nobody that really has that speed and then the quickness with his hands that go together simultaneously. And then obviously can think at that speed as well. So when you put it all together, you pretty much have a player that I don't think anybody's ever seen before. So it's pretty special.
He's 12 points in the first series, I believe, mostly assists, playmaking. Obviously, everybody knows him for being a finisher, around the oven, which is the goal. It is, the way you Canadians speak is awesome, too. You guys, somehow, different language than what we're speaking, but all the same damn thing. The sport of hockey needs you guys, McJesus, to be on this prime time, every single night type shit. Ratings through the roof. Can you guys feel it? Can you feel the kind of run that hockey's on right now?
Yeah, no, I think we're doing a great job ever since we got back with ESPN and obviously TNT carrying our games nationally. I think obviously that's great for our game of hockey and for us as players. I think getting our personalities out there a little bit more, having people see a different side of the game always helps. And, you look at the panel of the NBA on TNT and what they're trying to do, obviously now with hockey and Anson Carter and Biz and those guys, just making it more entertaining and more enjoyable to watch.
How do you have all those pearly whites? Aren't you supposed to lose teeth in hockey?
Oh, I lost them 2 years ago in the playoffs when I got cross-checked and I got 4 teeth taken out. So I said I got a couple more years playing, hopefully 5 or 6, and I can't be walking around with no teeth in my head, so I had to go get them done.
Would have been so cool, though, just toothless.
Hanging.
Just old school, because then you obviously have that weird one that's like just sitting out there that becomes your baby. Have a whole different talking style. Look how nice those teeth are.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Perfect.
my
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, big credit. I'll give him a shout-out. Dr. Cam in L.A. does great work.
Way to go, Dr. Cam.
All right, Doc.
Evander just beat the shit out of your hockey team, the Kings, but yeah, got to do what you got to do, especially whenever you got that nice of teeth. Ty has a question for you, Evander.
Yeah, Vander, obviously with McJesus and Draisaitl, you guys have the sizzle there, but it's very clear that you're kind of that grit, sandpaper, jam guy as well. Is that like a conscious thing you need to have going into games? Like, okay, I need to come in, I need to set the tone here, whether, who knows how you may do it, or is it just kind of the way you play in general? Like, have you had to kind of build that throughout your career, and now it's just kind of embedded into the way you play, or like how does that process happen?
No, honestly, I think it's always been the way I've played ever since I played Pee Wee hockey. I enjoy, part of why I love hockey so much is because it's a physical, aggressive contact sport, and I think that's part of the beauty of it. And then you also have that high end skill, and you're able to score and finish nice goals. And for me, it's just something that I enjoy, I embrace, and it's a dynamic that I think not many players have in the league today. And I think I try to use that to my advantage to help my team and my teammates out.
You feel old?
No, I don't feel old. I'm 30. I'm only 32, but I've been in the league a long time, so I think I got a couple more good years left.
Yeah, you said 5. That's what you said. You said 5 years. I mean, 20 years? In
yeah,
NHL?
5, 6, 7, 8.
Why?
I mean, you never know. You never know.
What's the...
Especially if they get rid of the salary cap.
What, that's going to happen?
I don't know. I'm just hoping. I think every player hopes.
Just put it out in the universe. Just put it out in the universe.
Yeah.
Connor,
good manifestation.
Yeah. Hey, anybody can pay anybody anything. However much money the owners have, let's make all the money. Connor has a question for you.
Yeah, Vander, it feels like in hockey more than anything, the game within the game with the referees has become something. Like there's an old clip of a ref telling, I think it was the Predators bench, hey, we need to get one on you guys early here because not a makeup call, but because of something that happened, prior in the period. Is that something that you guys consider kind of going into every game? Who's the referees of the night? And then there was also a clip of Drew Doughty basically just kind of undressing you as you were trying to talk to the referees. Is that something that after the fact you kind of go over to Doughty and say, hey, you son of a bitch, I was trying to have a conversation, stop talking in my ear while that's happening? Or is that just something you expect when you are trying to get your point across to the stripes?
No, I mean, to answer your first question, yes, there is some gamesmanship, and I think it just amplifies more in the playoffs. We got a couple guys, including myself, Corey Perry, that, really try to use our gamesmanship to our advantage and like other teams do as well. When it comes to Doughty the other night, I think I know the clip you're talking about. I got slew-footed heavily, and apparently the refs didn't see it, which is understandable. That happens, and I just went over to mention that to them, and Doughty was, I think he was saying that I do that all the time, but there's no evidence of that. So
here's the clip.
Because you're upset. I'll talk to you when you calm down. Okay. All right. I have no problem. Okay. I have no problem with that. What did you do?
That's a sleuthhood, man.
You do it every time, Kate.
I do it.
You do it every time. I swear to God, if I miss it, I missed it. But
How do I land on my back?
Because I think you jump up to try to get out of the way and you hit the boards and go down. I'm not saying that I'm not. Okay. If you say he's sleuthhood, then I didn't see it.
He's skating beside me, right? He's a small little guy. And he gets right under me and my legs up.
I didn't see that. I see him hit you. Yeah, we both have a good look at it. All right.
I'm just saying.
Sounds good.
Okay.
I do it.
Yeah.
You were so offended in the middle of the conversation. Watch your mouth. Slewfoot is that is the crime, right, in hockey?
It's a bit of a dirty play, yeah. And it can be really dangerous. Like on that play particularly, like Lizotte was the guy actually who hit me, and he's a smaller guy. He's like 5'8", and he got right under me and then kicked my legs out, and I'm like, my back is parallel to the ice, and I landed pretty hard. And apparently Doughty, he thought I did it to him a couple of times, but that was actually, to be honest, I was actually really proud of that clip. I was incredibly calm.
Oh yeah, I think so too.
Normally I'm not.
Very diplomatic. You know,
Truly.
You even had another. I did it where you could have, you could have told him, "Shut up, dude." In the middle of that, you didn't. How about the refs too? We both had a good eye on it, but if that's what you're saying, we're sorry. You know, that was a good. Was that they were wrong?
Well, no, I know. That was Chris Rooney. He's me and him have had our battles over the years, but he's a good guy, and he's a good guy, and you know, so, like I said, sometimes they don't see it. Like I don't see things that happen on the ice either, so they got a tough job. But again, it's all about just kind of having that mutual respect and being able to talk to the officials and get your point across and understand where they're coming from too. So that's one of the things I've learned over the years.
Yeah, 15 years, obviously it takes a little bit. You're going to have to figure it out at some point. I do appreciate your face whenever I said, they said they both had a good look on him. And then they got a tough job. They got a tough job immediately back into it. Smart. They're going to be calling games, you know, for you here coming up. Tone's got a question for you.
Yeah, Vander, your series with the Kings started with, I think it was 7-4 and a 5-4 game, which kind of felt like Oilers hockey because you guys are just so unbelievably good on the offensive side that you guys always have these high-scoring games. And then the last couple of games, they kind of felt like more of the traditional playoff scores. Is there something about in the playoffs where you guys maybe have to focus more about not being so up and down, or is it just that's who you guys are and that's how you're going to play?
No, I think that's something we've kind of learned over the last few years. At the same time, I think we're a team that can adapt, and I think we've shown that over the course of this year specifically. I think our defensive game's gotten a lot better. I think our goalies, both of them, have been fantastic, and you know, we proved in that LA series we can win a game 5-4. And we can also win a game 1-0. And we understand that there's probably going to be more of the 1-0 games as we get further and further in the playoffs, and we're going to be in a lot more of those type of situations. So I think the maturity of our group has greatly improved, and we're using our experience from the past to hopefully set us up for some success in the future.
How are the Dangles at this stage? How are the Dangles? How do we have injuries? Like that seems like that would be the most devastating. Wrists would be big problematic, I assume. Ankles, knees, like that type of shit. What is the most devastating, you think, to like performance?
I mean, in hockey, there's so many different injuries that can affect a player greatly. You could have a core issue, you could have a knee problem, you could have a shoulder. I mean, I don't know if you guys know this. Last year, I had my wrist slit open by a skate, which was
by who?
A real dramatic injury. Sorry?
By who?
It was a freak accident. Pat Maroon stepped on my wrist.
Patty Maroon, the big rig?
Mm-hmm, yeah, so there's a lot of weight there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that didn't feel good. So that was a long recovery process, probably the most catastrophic injury I've had to date. But yeah, I mean, it's hard. Playoffs are hard. Guys battle through lots of different injuries, sometimes multiple. But, you know, it just speaks to the character, you know, of guys on that team and guys you're playing with to be able to perform still at a high level. I mean, if you look at Leon Draisaitl 2 years ago, he had a busted ankle and he led the playoffs in scoring.
Yeah, that's what I think a lot of people are getting introduced to hockey. Like, if they weren't in a hockey city whenever they were growing up, they didn't know about hockey. And then you learn about the guys. You guys are like the most old school league. Like the most, you said busted ankle 2 years ago leads the league in scoring or whatever in playoffs. Busted ankle any other sport, out. Agents holding them out.
Oh, yeah.
The players out. The perspective is also like, that's smart. That's smart play. Should do that. In hockey, it's like, can you put your skates on? And then you get out there. It's old school. It very much is. And I think a lot of people respect the shit out of it and don't understand, you know, how it still exists, because it feels like there's an entire generation, and we're not even going to get into this, but like, of soft athletes. And it's like NHL and hockey seemingly never had that, Evander.
Yeah, no, I think, you know, there's it's kind of part of our culture, and I enjoy that part of our culture. You know, if you can play, guys want to play. Obviously there are times where guys just can't go, and everybody understands that. But, you know, I think when you get to the Stanley Cup playoffs, most guys have the mindset you're willing to do whatever it takes to win and help your team and perform at the best you can. And I think in our dressing room, at least I can speak for, we have 25 guys that are able to do that.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's cool. A lot of sports fans are like, excuse me, guy has a broken what? Sternum. Yeah. When'd you find out? After we didn't know going into the game.
Yeah, what?
Which is a whole nother animal because it gives you an excuse going in. But hockey's like, nah, we ain't saying shit to anybody. Nylander missed 3 games.
Yeah, exactly.
That nobody has a clue why.
No,
like we'll find out later if Boston goes on to win and Toronto gets eliminated or whatever. We'll learn. Yeah, this guy actually had he had 2 heart attacks, and they put him back on the ice. It's like that is like the standard operating procedure for hockey. It makes no sense.
Well, I forgot the player's name, but the guy from Tampa, he broke every bone in his leg, and then he was back 80 days later, and he played Game 4 or whatever. Game 5. Sergachev.
And then who was a great name there? Jeez Louise, that's a good name. What was it? 35 stitches?
I think it was like 80 some.
Yeah. 80 some stitches, and then back for the next
period.
Yeah, it is. Yins are wild animals in hockey, and people are starting to learn more about it and absolutely love it. I hope it continues, you know. And with guys that have been playing since they're 6 years old in the pros, they'll continue to carry that. Nikki Skates has a question for you, Evander.
Evander, you have a history with one of the league's heavyweights, Ryan Reeves, that goes back a couple years. You made some comments about maybe him going to the WWE. Now, if the Leafs are able to pull off this comeback in advance, you know, and we don't get too far down the road, but maybe you guys and the Leafs meet up in a Stanley Cup final. Do we see maybe a WrestleMania showdown at center ice or something?
Hell yeah.
Probably not, but the history. I think that was a lot to do with him fabricating so-called history. But we did play. He was on Vegas when I was in San Jose a couple of years ago, and did have a scrap, but. I'll leave the WWE stuff to him.
Whoa, you'd be great in the WWE if it means anything, especially with those teeth.
Yeah, unbelievable.
Those pearly whites. I mean, look at the big baby
at least
face.
I don't have to worry about them getting knocked out.
Whoa,
well, unless you run into almost.
I don't know. I don't know. Hey, good luck the rest of the way. We appreciate you joining us. You obviously want Vancouver to beat Nashville so you can go back home for a couple of these games?
I mean, I think if anything, I'd love to see a Game 7.
There you go.
Play as much as you need, boys. Play as many games as you need. Love that.
Exactly.
Hey, tell the rest of the dressing room we say hello over there, and we can't wait to watch you guys try to close it out, finish it out. It would be beautiful for Edmonton if you're able to lift Lordo, obviously.
Yeah, it'd be great. It'd be great for our city. We have a great group of fans, passionate fan base. Great organization.
Not better than Winnipeg, though, right? Not better. Winnipeg's barn, loudest in Canada, they said. That's what they were saying.
Pat, I would encourage you to come up to Edmonton and see for yourself.
White Ave.
I think that's something you're going
White
to have
Ave,
to do.
brother.
What is that? That's Edmonton's?
White Ave runs wild.
I think you should. I think you should come. I think you should come for a playoff game to Edmonton and do a show here. That would make a lot of sense.
Same distance.
You're a big hockey guy.
I am big hockey. Well, I'm a big Pens guy, and they are fucking dead.
Oh, well, they're not in. So now you can jump ship in the playoffs and become an Oilers guy.
I do like the way McJesus.
They move.
And then he's fighting in the playoffs.
And scoring.
And scoring and working. And last year, slit his wrist.
Yeah.
Guy got his wrist stepped on. I've heard from some Edmonton people whenever we put over the Winnipeg barn. They're like, come the fuck on here. Come on, let's get this right. We will have to make that happen. International trips aren't easy though, Evander. You know, it's not easy.
Do you have a passport, Pat?
I do, Evander, but it's all, you know.
What happened the last time you
Last time I went to Canada, I went to Montreal. I came back to Indianapolis. There was no customs person working in Indiana. So I sat on a plane on a runway for 3.5 hours before the customs person. I'm just saying, right now is not the right time to say, hey, do I want to go to another country? Because what just happened literally a week and a half ago. But I'm in. We'll come up to Edmonton.
You won't be disappointed.
Okay.
All right, what's our chant? Do we have a chant up there? What's our chant up there in Edmonton? Go Oilers! What do we say?
Let's go Oilers.
Well, I mean, that's
Sounds
it.
pretty
Simple.
boring.
Come on.
Sounds pretty
But
no,
you,
let's go, Pens.
yeah, but you have you ever been to a playoff hockey game in Canada?
Not in Canada, in America. Thank you, Sidney Crosby,
No.
Pittsburgh
So-
Pens. Have you?
Whatever atmosphere you think you've been in, that's incredible and crazy and special. It's going to get trumped all day long if you come up here to Edmonton and watch a home playoff game.
Yeah, but what about I was sitting on the glass, Sidney Crosby, in the middle of a Stanley Cup run in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, brother. Okay, it was pretty wild. It was pretty wild, brother. You're saying Canada's different?
Way different.
All right, we're gonna find out.
Okay. You won't.
Way different.
This guy doesn't
He
know.
doesn't. He
Were you
doesn't
there? Were you there the night that I was in Pittsburgh? Do you know? Do you know? It was wild,
Well,
brother.
no, I've been to. When I was 17 and getting drafted, we actually went to Pittsburgh, believe it or not, and watched them play Detroit in 2009.
Great series.
We watched a Cup final game there. So I've been actually in Pittsburgh watching a Stanley Cup playoff game, and it was great.
Great.
But it doesn't even compare to Canada.
That's biased.
There you
That's
go.
biased journalism.
Should have went to
brother.
Detroit.
That's biased.
Oh, shut up.
Wow. You wouldn't be saying that.
All right, we'll figure it out. We appreciate you so much. Good luck the rest of the way. We'll see you soon. We'll see you in Canada.
I appreciate it. All right. Thanks, guys.
Boy, if you guys play Nashville, though.
Nashville's perfect.
All right, see you, Evander. Because if they play Nashville,
Oh, baby.
that's just right there. That's a skip and a jump.
That's
Exactly.
perfect.
That is literally a triple jump
Yeah.
Yeah.
right into the Preds.
Yep.
But imagine.
But the Edmonton people did get a little bit salty about how much we're talking
Sure
about
they
the
did.
Winnipeg barn. You said White Avenue? That's the street that leads up to the arena?
You know, that's just where you go if you want to have a good time.
Can we get a map of Canada up here, please, so I at least know where the fuck this place is?
Good idea.
It's way. It's the furthest north one.
Alberta.
We're
Yeah.
going to say it's over here?
No. It's to the right of Vancouver, to the left of Winnipeg. So it's like right above Montana, but it's up there.
Okay, so Edmonton. We are, let's zoom out. Okay, so we are here, obviously, Indiana. This thing's here. This is Edmonton?
Yeah.
That's like flying to.
Yeah, there's
Ah,
Montana.
Damn.
Oh, yeah.
That's going to be a 7 hour.
Yeah, it's a
Might as well
12-hour
be
flight.
Manitoba.
We're going to have to fucking take 3 days up there.
Yeah.
Should just go to like Saudi or something.
I mean,
Stone's throw away from
you see
Calgary.
it? Greenland's the same distance. To the right, basically.
Yeah, if we go Indiana, a little further. That's a little further. That is certainly a little bit further.
Basically the same distance.
But it is up here, this place. What's
Newfoundland?
this part? This is a whole different part
I believe
of Canada,
that's
right?
Newfie, yeah.
Are those the Newfies up there?
Yeah, that's Newfoundland. It's
Oh.
allegedly a different country over there in Newfoundland.
And Labrador.
Zoom back out, please. Okay, so Manitoba, obviously, great place.
up there, yeah.
But that's way the fuck up there, dude.
Might as well go to none of it.
I mean, we might as well fucking go to
Basically, Yukon.
Anchorage right on our way over.
You know, we might as well just stop by the fucking Northwest Territory.
Fuck it.
Oh, brother.
Let's go to fucking Russia while
You
we're
want to
at
see
it,
the
eh?
northern.
Whoa, we need to stop by Alaska first and then
course.
fucking just doop right
course.
over. We don't want to go to Russia and have any vapes.
Yeah, no.
Or
We saw that Brittany Griner interview.
We don't want to go up there.
Yes.
Shit was a real deal.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
She was talking about like the horror she was feeling. How did I make this mistake? Oh my God. And then she talked about being in jail there. She thought about taking her life and everything like that. It was like mental toughness through the roof that if you didn't think about that, is you probably think you're dead.
Oh, yeah.
As an American,
every day.
For
in the
sure.
middle of everything that was happening, obviously a high price hostage, high price criminal, like everything going on there. That had to be some sketchy times. And nobody speaking your language.
Right.
And nobody gives a fuck.
Bingo.
If you understand what they're saying or not. Yeah, this is on you. We don't care.
Fucking hate your country.
Hey, you see the vape you brought in? Yeah, you see the vape? That little tiny little vape? Hope it was enough to get you super high because you're staring down 50 years.
Yeah. Might as well have been machine gun.
Might as well loaded.
Yeah.
You might as well walked
Yeah.
into plane with that entire thing. That interview was good, I think, for us to hear.
Yeah.
You know? I couldn't even fathom what that would have been.
Nah, that's terrifying.
I'm pretty happy. That's why anytime you're traveling internationally, you got to check all the pockets of every bag you're heading to.
Yeah, customs is no joke.
None. Except for here in the United States where they're not there. That made me decide I'm never leaving the country again.
I think it's a good idea.
But then now we got to get all the way fucking up to Edmonton.
Do we?
What type of plane do we need? We need a big plane. That's a far
fucking
trip.
cargo.
That's got to be 7-8 hours.
Yeah.
That is got to be. That is so.
Oh, yeah.
Think about how fucking cold it's going to be.
Get a couple hours back.
I was watching Deadliest Catch last night. It's cold, brother. It's still cold.
Up there?
Oh, yeah. Oh,
In
yeah.
Alberta. Oh, that's the whole thing.
Captain Bill was smoking cigs and laying into some greenhorn, and there was ice all in the water.
But nobody lives up here, right? Dumps.
In the northern?
There's no
Can you
chance.
can you go back? Yep. Can you just stay? Yep. Perfect. So up here, like nobody fucking lives here, right, Gumpy?
I have no idea where that is.
This is like the top of all these.
I think there's some Inuits up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Where's
they're
none
up-
of it?
None of it's right up there.
Yeah, you see none of it.
Yeah.
None of the top. I think this is where the Inuits are.
Yeah.
I think the Inuits are up here.
On the ice, yeah.
And for everybody, yeah, we just fucking grandstanded that's what you're supposed to.
Yeah.
That's the actual.
That's right.
Inuit is the name instead of people saying that they're.
No, yeah. Don't
Even say it.
Don't
I'm
even say
like,
it.
Ebros.
That E word. Yeah.
You
It's
talking
not
about
the right word.
Nope.
You talking
Inuit
about
is the
Inuit kisses?
No.
Inuit brothers.
There
Yep.
you go.
That's what people would say. That's so far.
I mean, look at UConn up there. With
Think about how far of a trip it is to here, Seattle.
That's I think it was 6-hour flight from here to Seattle.
I mean,
that's where I always connected.
And then we're going to go.
Add another
Lord.
4.
If you do Pythagoras,
Fucking Canada's
if you do A
too
squared,
big.
B squared, C squared. it's
How'd we
big.
let them get all that fucking land?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
I mean, who wants
Well,
that?
yeah, nobody wants the shit up north.
I agree, but I would love Calgary.
Anything
and,
north of
the
Alberta
Peg
and Manitoba, you might as well.
Banff. If
Whistler.
you're going to Calgary, you should go to Banff. Banff is beautiful.
Yeah.
Do they have a fucking NHL team?
It's great
No,
for a
that
bad
was
trip.
maybe the nicest place to ski in the world.
Good
Where are
luck.
they doing the dog racing?
Over there on the left side, top left.
That's
Yeah.
Northwest Territories as well.
Up here?
Yeah.
Fairbanks, I believe, Alaska.
Yeah, that's the only one that matters.
Yeah, Fairbanks to Anchorage, you said.
So you're telling me all of this?
Bullshit.
He's right.
What the fuck was
I'm
that?
talking about the whole fucking country, dude. What are you?
Well, you
no.
started up top.
all of this.
It's all bullshit.
All of this
All of it.
here.
When I said
All
bullshit,
that
your
green?
hand was up top left.
All right. All of this though. All of this right here.
Mm-hmm.
Not pulling for the Maple Leafs against the Bruins.
Yeah, they all hate him.
No, not at all.
All right.
But Toronto's massive. So like Sportsnet,
Not really.
Sportsnet, TSN is all based out of Toronto, though. Do you know what I mean? Like it's like kind of like New York here.
How many people live in Toronto? Isn't it like, what, 5 million or something?
Toronto is the New York of Canada.
Does UConn know that Toronto exists?
Yeah, UConn loves puck.
These people know
Know that these people exist.
Oh yeah.
There's no way that, like, you lived over. You didn't travel over here much, right?
Where's that?
Toronto.
Over in
From
this area.
Vancouver.
No, just I would go to Calgary a fair bit.
Right here.
Yeah,
So you go from here to here,
12-hour drive.
and then look at all this shit. Do we know Canada is this?
It's like us driving to Myrtle
Oh
Beach.
yeah, it's just such a waste of space, brother.
Take it easy.
Can we
Jesus Christ.
No, it's not. They created hockey.
It really is beautiful this time of year, though.
We need to move
I
our.
think we're about a month away from it being beautiful, right?
Well, it depends on where you go.
I assume we go up to an Edmonton Oilers game. We're wearing hoodies and.
Yeah,
see
so
what-
it'd probably be like Detroit for the draft still, I imagine.
Yeah, when they did like the live look in from the watch along outside of the
Yeah, it's
stadium for
51.
Edmonton,
51 today.
51, yeah, it's a bit brisk. It's about 80 here. No reason to go up there.
It was 90 degrees yesterday.
Yeah, it was awesome.
So nice.
It was very nice.
Yeah.
That's the hottest May 2nd I've experienced in some time.
None of it's 26 right now, so.
Oh, I'll have none of that.
It's got to be pretty nice in Ottawa right now, though, right?
I think none of it's where they.
I mean, you just go back in time. How did they not join us in 1776? Not even talking about it. How did we get this?
We big
just
dogged
took
them.
it
We
from
took it.
We put our dick
Hey.
on the table and said, "Give us the oil brothers."
Yeah, but I'm just.
Hey, Canada.
But how does that not? How's that conversation not?
I think
Like, how does it not? I don't know how it does. I would love to go back. And then how did they keep French?
That's a good question.
You know, how did they keep French in the middle? And I guess they have tried to exit Canada a couple times.
who won it, right?
That was when
That's because they wanted
we
to
got-
live
that
free
was
or
when
die.
Jean Chrétien was the prime minister.
Who was that guy that was running roughshop over all those?
Rob Ford.
Rob Ford. Where was
Oh,
Yeah, he was
rest in peace.
Toronto.
he? Was here.
Yeah, rest in
he's
peace,
dead.
brother.
He's very. Allegedly,
football
I just
player.
found out that we paid Russia
$7.2 million for Alaska.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's a steal.
That's
No,
ours
Steal.
now.
And that's
Nothing.
why we
Not
leased
as big as a steal as this one down here.
Louisiana Purchase.
We stole that fucking thing.
Oh, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Well, yeah, we'll make it King Louis and his wife Anna. We'll pay homage. Okay, give us $10.
Gotcha, bitch.
That was a good deal for us.
Yeah. Alaska, we needed to take because Canada, they're so scared of the commies. Please just take it.
Cut it out.
We can't do it because if they come in, then we'll have to pay more taxes to their royal family too.
15 million is the exact amount, I guess. 7 million up here.
A lot of land.
Couple good
You
deals.
can fit all 50 states in Alaska.
Well, and also, I think there's like 200 years worth of oil underneath here.
Allegedly, Mulligat's great-great-great-grandfather negotiated that.
The Alaska deal?
Yeah, and the Louisiana Purchase.
Vladimir Putin was still doing the deals then?
Yeah, he was alive.
He saw Mulligeta walk to the table. We're fucked. Whatever you want.
Unfortunately, I saw a documentary recently. The oil in Alaska is tainting some of the drinking water, so we got to be careful about that.
Oh, don't love that.
True detective.
Yeah, I thought that might have been what you were.
Oh, so it wasn't a documentary?
No, it wasn't.
No.
Okay.
The ice mines.
But it could be happening. I remember what happened down here with the oil.
Yeah, thanks a lot, BP.
BIP.
I guess the EV thing is a full conversation as well right now, but like the issue is if you don't live here or right here,
Those people get it together.
all these people here, there's just no supercharging stations. So it's hard.
Yeah.
It's going to be hard to use a car that, just runs out of power.
Also, a lot of people's mindset in that middle section is, we ain't fucking getting cars with electric. Okay? We need to hear our, well, you were saving the world until you did, but you didn't realize it's not your fault. It's not your fault. You didn't realize that was a big fucking jinx. Okay? Or not a jinx.
Not a jinx.
Fugaze.
Yeah, kind of pulling the wool over your eyes a little bit.
Yeah.
I was saving the world.
I saw a congressman speaking, and he said we don't even have close to the amount of electric if everyone switched it like they want us to. Okay, so who's really saving?
Well,
the world?
I'm sure that's accurate too. I'm sure there isn't any bias behind that. Everything's bullshit seemingly, but what I do know is this ain't bullshit.
No.
It's where the Oilers play puck.
They fucking get after it.
So far. I mean, that's so fucking far. I thought all the cities were within 1.5 miles of the border. That's what I was told.
It should be, and then we should march north 2 miles. Take them all back. We want your cities, bitch.
I don't think we ever had them. So you're saying take them back. I don't think
We want Montreal, we want Ottawa, we want Toronto.
Whistler.
Yeah.
I don't know.
definitely.
Montreal's going to be tough. The French are fucking feisty.
Oh, I'm sorry. You see that VT blow it or NH, one of the two, and they just cross and say, hey, live free or die, motherfuckers, and bring them over.
Yeah.
Speaking of French, shout out to Backlash in Lyon, France.
Yeah.
It's going to be good.
It's happening this weekend. Michael Cole was already on a stage talking to a bunch of French people about what Backlash is going to be. We got Cody Rhodes taking on AJ Styles.
Yeah.
We got Damian Priest taking on Jey Uso. We got a triple threat for the women's WWE Championship. That should be a great weekend.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
This card's unbelievable.
How'd AJ get a title shot?
He won a six-pack challenge. He's also, AJ Styles, if you look back, when somebody becomes a new champion, normally AJ Styles is the first person they face.
He's Jack now.
That's just like a history stat, I guess. He is very jacked.
He's like the old guy in Mike Tyson boxing that you fight first, and then, or like when you do the Oculus, and you fight the first guy and then the second guy, and then you get to the
Joe.
AJ Styles is the first guy.
Yeah, talking about Ugly Joe's first guy.
He's not the final boss. He's the weak.
He's Ugly Joe.
Whoa.
AJ Styles right now looks like the final boss.
I didn't mean physically because he's jocked.
If he ever won the title, he wouldn't drop it because of those gloves.
Well
He
said.
had gloves on today at a press event.
He did.
Always does.
Yeah, well, he's always prepared to catch a ball and win a title. I mean, that's AJ Styles football, baby. All right, let's get the hell out of here. Let's have an incredible weekend in Kentucky. Derby's happening. The NBA playoffs are happening. The NHL playoffs are happening.
Yep.
It's a magical time. We're lucky to be a part of it. We'll be overreacting to absolutely everything on Monday. My daughter's birthday's happening tomorrow. It's a big one. It's a big one. Been a lot of preparation coming from Samantha McAfee for tomorrow's big 1-year-old birthday party.
It's a big one.
I'm excited to see what she has pieced together. I am pumped for the pictures for Mackenzie with all of her aunts and uncles, everybody that's going to show up, obviously, and her grandparents and everything like that. I have said a couple times, though, Mackenzie's not going to remember this one. So it doesn't have to be.
Neither are we.
Doesn't have to be a plus game or whatever. And Sam just can't do anything other than that. So I think what tomorrow's about to be is a spectacle.
Hell yeah.
So everybody needs to get ready. Mackenzie's first birthday party is about to be the real fucking deal.
It's getting nuked.
And she deserves it. If any baby deserves it, Mackenzie does. How about her making her debut yesterday?
That was sweet.
She just fucking, what is going on?
Very calm.
Yeah, she's pretty chill.
Yeah.
I should have flipped her upside down. If I flip her upside down, she would have started. "Ah!"
yelling and everything, but just wanted her first time. You know, whenever we look back on that, whenever she's 10 years old, 15 years old, 20 years old, 30 years old, it'll be a cool thing. Because Zeta was flashing the lights too whenever she got up here.
Oh,
She,
yeah.
what the fuck?
Party lights,
What
dude.
is going on here? And then she looked at you and said,
Damn, let's go bees.
She didn't say that.
That's what I got.
I'm rolling with this team. Right here.
Hell yeah. They're on the other side, so if they play the Stars or the Golden Knights.
I guess we just no point in playing tonight's game.
I said if, didn't I? Not when.
Jesus Christ. See, that's a problem right there. What just happened?
What?
You were thinking I'm going to go way far over here, and it was
Further.
150,000 miles more to the left.
So far.
Yeah.
These hockey dudes, think about during the season.
Oh my God.
They go.
We talk about like the University of Hawaii having travel. Look at these fucks, dude.
Edmonton playing the Florida Panthers on a Tuesday night.
Oh
Do they have to do customs every time?
Yeah.
I assume there's some sort of
deal, right?
I bet you they probably have a customs person
yeah.
for
Yeah.
their like entry or whatever. All right, Canada. Good luck this weekend.
Good luck, Canada.
All right, we appreciate you. What's that?
Let's relax. I see what you're doing here. Okay, on Canada, good luck. We know where Toronto is. Let's just hope for some good games. Let's hope for some good entertainment and maybe a Bruins win, huh?
You want to do this right now? What is this? Is this Toronto or Boston?
We can just do Canada, America. Yeah, because you said let's go Canada. So
Is
let's
this
do Canada.
Toronto or Boston?
Let's do Canada.
Is this Toronto or Boston?
Look, I'm putting my vote in for Canada versus
Toronto
America.
ball.
It's a Toronto ball.
So for Toronto.
If this goes in, Toronto's winning.
Okay.
The universe will decide.
Yep.
Come on, universe. Could you imagine we put another?
Oh man.
Oh, hack the back.
Another. That jersey up there is commemorating the greatest regular season in the history of the NHL.
My favorite jersey.
That was last year, the Boston Bruins. They were supposed to win it all. This team's the greatest to ever be assembled.
Yeah.
They lost in the first round after being up 3-1. Then they inevitably would lose to the Panthers.
Oh.
This year, need to win Lordo, obviously.
Shoot the fucking ball.
They're up 3-1 over Toronto.
Yeah.
Oh, they're about to get past the first round again. No.
Not so fast.
Game 7.
Haven't lost to Toronto in a playoff series since 1975.
The universe will tell us if that's going to change.
Flyers won a
That
championship.
guy up there hasn't showed up for this playoff series either.
This one's for Austin Matthews,
Pipe the fuck down, okay?
Willie Nylander, and the boys. Nylander.
Jackass. Bruins.
All right, it's a Bruins,
Bruins
ball.
ball.
Bruins ball. Bruins ball.
Don't you dare.
No.
Don't you fucking dare.
Now, shouldn't he
Sack himself.
Shouldn't he hold his own fate? Shouldn't he shoot the Bruins ball?
Oh, should you? Yeah,
Fucking Bruins ball.
yeah, you should. You're real far. You want to go down to your spot?
Job with the block.
Bruce. Fuck is this?
You turned it off last week, remember, with a fucking arid shot without telling anybody?
Yeah.
You want to shoot from there or you want to shoot from your spot?
Right fucking.
You shoot.
Right from low the fucking Boston.
All right. The hockey gods. Are they blessing the Boston Bruins? Oh, no.
Get up. Oh.
Air ball. Congrats to the Maple Leafs.
Wow.
Whoa. That is not how that works. That is not how that works. Yeah, okay, we'll go back to the Leafs. Now give me, let me see here.
Wait.
No. Wow.
Yep.
Universe balls, there are not bounce backs.
Oh.
Oh, baby.
Oh.
Oh yeah, boys.
Oh, no. Hey, you need this, buddy. Especially after that jump.
You don't have to fucking tell me. I fucking know.
You need this, pal. This goes in, the Bruins win. If you miss it, it's the Maple Leafs all day.
Oh my God.
It's a good trajectory.
That's fucking backwards.
Uh-oh. How you getting there? Hold on to the...
His shoes.
It counts. It counts.
Can't walk on your shoes. Yeah, dude, your shoes. Certainly.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I'm wearing them. I'm on there.
That's crazy. It is.
My feet. No, your shoe. my shoe was off. My shoe was. No, my shoe was off. Has to be off as part of the fucking rules.
All right, so that's another bonus ball there?
I mean, the fucking ball came back.
Got back.
Oh!
He hit his head?
Yeah, it sounded worse than it felt.
Okay, all right. It sounded bad.
Yeah, it did sound loud.
Oh, no. All right, nobody wins.
Yeah,
Overtime.
wow.
We got footballs. We got footballs.
3 overtimes.
Whoa. It's my shot.
It's for the Maple Leafs.
Let me fucking get one, eh? Let me fucking get one here, boys. Hey.
Oh, no.
I mean,
Redemption.
I can't get a fucking ball. I get 3 shots. You got 3 shots there.
Redemption.
You had a small basketball and 2 footballs.
So you get 2 footballs and the dorsal fin.
No, I get 3 footballs. It's bullshit, Dad.
Maple Leafs just buried the college football national championship. Uh-oh. Oh. Would have counted. Uh-oh.
Hold on.
Hold the phone. It's for the Bruins. Bruins!
I fucking know what it's for, okay?
Bruins!
Hockey fucking sucks. Who gives a fuck? Is football here yet? You know, that's what everyone's saying these days. It's like fucking, I'm gonna put my bucket on and skate, baby. I don't know why we're throwing footballs and basketballs. This is hockey, bitch.
Because the universe. You're done.
No, there's no.
Maple Leafs won. It's right there.
I get a fucking ball, please. Calibrate it for me.
Calibrate it. Hold on.
Locked and loaded. Engage. Oh shit. Oh.
Oh. All right. Universe has told us nothing.
Take tabs for the universe.
It's going to be a good game, Sam.
It's gonna be a good game.
Nobody knows.
It looks like we're gonna have 18 overtimes.
Maybe they haven't figured it out yet.
Can we get clarity to that dorsal fin go in? It looked like it went in.
I think it did, actually.
No, it did not.
I think it did.
A hell of a toss, though.
If it hits the net, I thought with dorsal fin rules, it counts.
Nobody has made the dorsal fin.
Oh, the Alabama football.
That's a
good ball.
Kalen DeBoer.
Please.
You, please.
No, please. You've gone first the whole time. Please.
Yeah, exactly. Let's switch it up. We haven't got a. I mean, I've made one. You haven't, but.
Well, I'm further from the hoop.
What?
I'm further from the hoop.
I would say if we were to take a measurement here,
Yeah.
the one that I made, first one you have been missing, probably pretty similar.
I was gonna say the exact same.
Okay.
I'm shorter, so the ball travels further.
Well, and you're shoeless because obviously.
Exact. Boom. So I'm even more. I'm double.
I do
I'm double
appreciate the
shorter.
fact that you thought your slippers were not.
No.
You can just walk there.
The one that was off, the thing that I left, I stepped on the one that was off. I sacrificed it, and then I sacrificed the other one.
That's good lava.
Thank you.
What? You're allowed to just walk? I was past the stage of the floor is lava, thank God, with my
You can
generation.
take your shoes off, yeah.
You can take your shoes off? You can
As
leave,
long-
Use them.
you
as long as
leave
it's-
shoe.
No.
Yeah.
Shoe off.
As long as
then
it's not
step
attached.
on shoe.
Yeah, as long as it's not attached to your body.
Yes. Which it was not.
Yeah, I don't know what house rules say here, though.
Well, I wasn't aware of the dome rules. I thought that they were the same.
Yeah,
If you
I mean,
really-
you needed it too pretty bad.
I was hoping you'd put 3 golf balls down for each foot.
And just
kind of
roll.
I thought about doing that, but
All right, here. You know what? Enough with the fuckery.
yeah, I agree.
That ball goes in, the Bruins are going to win.
Okay.
Oh my God, baby. That looks so fucking good.
If this one goes in,
Ready? Good hop there. Shoe off, on. Did not touch with my right foot. Still on. Got the ball back. Hold on. Let's pop the other one off real quick. Yahtzee. Let's step on that one. Didn't touch the lava. Boom. Just like I fucking said it would.
all right, if this one goes in, Leafs win.
Fair. Oh. So we got a fucking game, boys.
All right, tomorrow night, 8 o'clock.
Overtime.
We'll overreact to everything on Monday, I promise you. And the shows will be better than today.
I mean, there's still another ball. I can get that ball.
You don't have any shoes left.
I mean, that's because they're part of the lava now, brother.
Let's get out of here. Thank you all so much for allowing us to do this for a living. The universe has told us nothing. We got a fucking graveyard out here, missed opportunities from the universe, don't we? I don't think I've ever seen it like this.
That's because even the universe is like, God, it'll be a fucking good game.
We don't want to give it away.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, true.
Well, now, granted, I made one.
He did.
You did not.
However, we don't think that one counted.
Who's?
Why do we keep throwing?
Well, because you kept bitching.
I didn't bitch. I just said, whoa, I still got a chance here. And then after my 3 chances, you said, I'll throw it again.
All right, so there's this human my wife showed me on Instagram. She holds these rods, and then she'll ask a question to the universe or to a god or to the spirits or whoever it is. And then if the rods cross, it's a yes, and if they go the opposite way, it's a no. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of followers, a couple 100,000 followers.
Come on, people. Come the fuck on.
Who is this calling me now?
I don't know the name, but it's asking questions. As soon as I watched it, I was like, that's sweet, but I'm going to need her to ask the same question in 3 different ways, back to back to back. And if we're getting the same answer,
then yeah, sure.
Okay, you can sell me a little bit. That's what I was doing with the ball. Like if another one went in, it was the universe. But it didn't go in.
Exactly, yeah.
So we don't know.
That's why it's up in the air.
She has some real good questions, though. Did the Germans interact with any alien or outer worldly beings during World War II? Yes, thank you.
And they still lost.
It's crazy.
Didn't just lose.
Do they still talk about what the World War was about? World War II?
I think they skip over it.
They've kind of swept that under the rug.
Yeah.
Like us?
I mean, they're still
why we got involved.
We know.
Or what was going on? Like, do they talk about that at all? Because it feels like that's something that should be talked about. Like,
I don't think so, but I don't know. I mean, there are memorials everywhere, all over Germany and stuff like that. So
I'm talking about United States. Like, our smartest people, have they learned
I think
about?
it's like in Ivy League history books.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, have they learned about the World War and everything? That's kind of
feels like it's not.
So, not everybody. Some of them you got to sign up. Like the Third Reich class I took, strictly on the Third Reich, obviously.
That was in college?
Yeah, in college.
I'm talking about in high school. Did they say hey, you know why it happened?
I was taught it.
Yeah, I had a very extensive world history class in high school.
Me too. I wonder if that's just not being taught anymore because it feels like there's some people that are potentially very passionate that might also learn about that story and be like, oh, that's crazy to learn about, and then maybe that could be something that we all.
Yeah, I hope.
All together.
This weekend, I think it'll happen.
Mm-hmm.
I think so too. Universe. Not throwing that one.
No, you already made the coming together universe.
Oh yeah. That was the other day. So that's going to happen this weekend.
Let's go.
All right, let's get to a break. We'll be back for Overreaction Monday. You are the greatest people on earth. Thank you for allowing us to do this for a living. I'm an old man now. I'm a dinosaur at 37. But hopefully, for years and years to come, I'll be able to chit-chat about sports with the boys. I can't thank you all enough for allowing us to do this. Be a friend. Tell a friend something nice. It might change their life. Do that this weekend. Especially as the weather's turning.
Ooh.
Say, hey, you look good. How you doing? Good to see you. Great to see you. Wow, those new pants, that's really nice. Sweet haircut. Look at you. Even if it looks terrible,
Sure.
They know it looks terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just say something nice, give them a smile, let's keep it moving. Because people don't remember exactly what you say, but they remember how you made them feel. Yep. So you say something nice, maybe you change the way they go about the rest of their day and even their life. It'll be cool to do that. We're in this thing together. Team on me, team on 3. 1, 2, 3. Goodbye.